Hi, I am Sero. This is my Twitch stream. Sero does stuff because Sero does stuff. Fuck grammar. Yay. Honestly,
Woo!
though, most of the stuff is TTRPG related, and today is no different as we are playing Brindlewood Bay once more. Yay. I will quickly introduce everyone and then hand it over to David. What do they call the GM in Brindlewood Bay?
The Keeper.
The Keeper. Ooh, just like
Yeah.
Monster of the Week.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have you guys all know me, and you all know David from Tota, the Trials of the Apocalypse podcast. Awesome. Hi, David. Bye, David.
Hello.
Moving on,
Excited to be
and
here.
we have we have Kat from Shrimp and Crits podcast.
Hello.
And look at that awesome wig. And we also have Miah from
Lovely.
the Monsters Playbook.
Hello.
Miah.
Hi.
Awesome. Okay, David, take us away.
Excellent. Hello, everybody. Before we really dig into today's mystery, I want to kind of set the scene, the show, if you will, of Brindlewood Bay, the televised event that we all find ourselves on. A bit of a frame story for the game is this idea that this is a cozy television show that it's kind of a metatextual layer above the text of the game, which is the Mavens, living their lives and solving these mysteries in their town. But there's also this layer that this is all really just some TV show, and we as the audience are enjoying it together. And so, as such, for TV shows of that era, uh, today we're going to have a sweeps week mystery. Sweeps week, if you're not familiar with it, is when the various television agencies really got to get those audience members to tune in and focus. It sets their ad revenue for the rest of the year and stuff, their rates based on how many people they draw. So drawing that audience is so important. So, in the spirit of that, Sweeps Week mysteries are kind of extreme. They're a little bit over the top. They're a little bit more leaning towards the supernatural even than usual. The mystery today is going to get weird, creepy, and wild pretty much immediately, but very, very quick. And it's going to stay there for basically the whole time. So, in preparation of that, of this, our Arbor Day mystery, first, I would like each of the Mavens to give us a cozy vignette, a scene of their life in Brindlewood Bay. The prompt that I've given them, let's see if I can get the exact wording so I can remember.
Oh, hydrate. Did we hydrate?
Do we hydrate?
Yeah. Cap and I did.
I was thirsty.
Aw.
Yeah.
No, I'm always thirsty. Oh, yeah, fair enough. I walked into that one. The prompt was narrate a scene of your Maven caught up in humdrum city life. Order does not matter, whichever you would like to go first. Give us a short vignette of your Maven and their humdrum city life in Brindlewood Bay.
Who's first?
Dealer's choice.
I can go first.
Knock it out.
Kill it.
So friendly reminder for everybody who's tuning back in. I am playing Sonia or Sunny Polanski. She loves bird watching and like flowers, all the different critters. So she definitely has some bird feeders outside. Definitely like some that she bought from the store. Definitely the homemade pine cone kind. But she really loves her hummingbird feeder. And as any avid bird watcher knows, the perfect hummingbird feeder food is water and sugar. But ants also love water and sugar. And Sunny was enjoying a wonderful afternoon, light breeze, and was going to go outside and check her feeders. But the hummingbird feeder was knocked down, and there's honey water all over the place, and a bunch of ants have now taken refuge and enjoyed this snack. So,
Oh no, not the honey,
Yeah.
not the hummingbird feeder. There's the words. The honeybird
Tragic.
feeder is not right, but awesome. I love and hate that. That's awful for you. Who else? Who next?
I've got an easy one. Hello, everybody. I am Cap again, and I am playing Muriel Puttman. And what Muriel is doing today, after the last few mysteries, which have been a little stressful, um, she now goes to the grocery store a couple times a week, first thing in the morning, to use the blood pressure cuff machine that is there. The big one that's like built into the wall, you know. And today, unfortunately, there is a line to the door of elderly people, and Muriel is spending her day in the line waiting for this blood pressure cuff.
In the line for the blood pressure meter.
It's very important.
Does Muriel have high or low blood pressure?
That's what we're here to find out, isn't it?
True. We'll probably never know.
Schrodinger's blood pressure.
Mhm.
Until measured, how can you know?
Mm-hmm.
Bill, how about you?
Well, Bill, who I just want to remind everyone is actually a woman. Her real name is Phyllis. She just goes by Bill. There was some confusion in a few of the episodes. She's wanted to get the gas
Thank
for
you, Jay.
her car.
Hey.
So she is lined up at the only decent gas station at Brindlewood Bay. But there is a huge queue, and it's little old people in front of her who are having issues with technology. And she's sitting there in her purple hearse, listening to her stories on the podcast on the stereo because her grandson Braden helped her do that.
Oh.
But yeah, she's getting really annoyed at the little old people who don't know the technology, even though that was probably would have been her once upon a time if she didn't have a 15-year-old grandson. But yeah.
Love that. So we see these short little vignettes on screen on our crackly old tube TV. As we pan out of that final scene, we get to like the happy-go-lucky Brindlewood Bay theme song, which then like slowly takes, like it switches to a minor key, slowly takes a darker turn as it says like the Brindlewood Bay special on screen, and then up comes the title card of today's mystery, "The Devil You Grow," and then in parentheses, "is better than the devil that you don't." The complexity of today's mystery is going to be 7. Before I read into all the details, I want to let everybody know that we do have a special crown available should any of the Mavens wish to spend it during the game. A reminder that crowns of the Queen and of the Void are the two kinds of currency that the Mavens have to upgrade their rolls should something go poorly, or to upgrade a good roll to an even better one to get some sort of special benefit. And this mystery comes with a special little bonus one. This is the Crown of the Canopy. So at any point during the mystery, if you need to use a crown or want to use a crown, you're welcome to use this one instead of one from your own personal pool. It can only be used once, however, so really it's just whoever gets to it first. And don't. What you shouldn't do is it'd be like, oh well, I can't be the one to use it because then everybody's that person and then nobody uses it, and that's no fun at all, right? So that's available to anyone who'd like to in the course of the mystery today. Another quick shout out because I refer to this like this is like a stock mystery. This is something that I and Emma, my wife, worked on. We write basically all of our Brindlewood Bay mysteries together. This one's really fun. I'm really excited about this today. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Mulch Botanical Gardens and Arboreal Rescue was founded 70 years ago in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, by Magnolia Mulch, when she inherited her late husband Cyrus Mulch's grand estate and agricultural fortune. As time passed and the grounds of the gardens grew, so too did the Mulch family, though blessed only with daughters across 3 generations. The botanical gardens now amount to more than 200 acres, and the Mulch family to 5 women, and a smattering of tag-along husbands, now many deceased. Sporting unique natural exhibits and events year-round, the Mulch Botanical Gardens and Arboreal Rescue is a popular destination for Massachusetts residents as well as tourists. Today, in-game, is Arbor Day, an especially auspicious day to take a break from city living, explore nature, and develop a deeper connection to the forests. Our Mavens have driven inland today to enjoy just that. Our establishing question for the mystery today is: a diverse group of garden goers are here today. You're at the Welcome Center right now. Who do you pick out from the crowd, and what has brought them here?
There's got to be a fun NPC from the last few games. Where's our
Yeah, this can
planner?
be an individual person. This can
Kiana.
also be a group of people. I will say Kiana is here, and we'll get to why Kiana is here soon.
Sure. She always is.
What about some random person who's walking their cat on a leash?
I like
we
that.
can hear a cat in the background.
Yeah, we're just going to call them Hipster Catwalker. I'm going to jot that in my notes.
Here for the catnip.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pluck out a obscure vendor.
Yeah.
What could they be vending? It's like a weird food. It's Arbor Day. What does that even mean?
What about like fried nettle leaves?
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
It is now, I guess.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a Try Guys episode.
Pick any plant you want from the botanical garden. We'll fry it for you. No questions asked.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put down fried nettle leaf vendor.
Mm-hmm. Ned's nettles.
Yeah, Ned's needles.
Yeah.
That's way more fun when you say it, Sero.
It's the accent, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you think, Sarah? What's another? Could be a group of people, could be a single person, could be an attraction. Doesn't matter. Just something that catches your eye. Who's visiting here today?
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go for it.
If you don't mind.
It's your turn, please.
I really want a group of either people that are like very like came from really, really far away, but are dressed. I don't want to not inappropriately, but not for this kind of place. Like almost like they belong at a rave instead.
The ravers.
I was going to say cosplay, but sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
cosplay.
I'm just going to jot down cosplay rave club. There's no better place to go clubbing than a botanical gardens forest, arboreal forest in Massachusetts. These people came from California to party today.
You know those folks who like
came.
plug in mushrooms and play the music that mushrooms make? That's what they're really into.
Yeah.
They just came from Coachella.
They're still celebrating 420.
Hell yeah. Perfect. So these are some of the groups that we find here today. We have our hipster catwalkers. We have some fried nettle leaf vendors. We have a cosplay rave club of some variety. However, of course, we have our mavens. It's like, mid-morning. But the mavens aren't the only Brindlewood Bay residents to make the trek. The Brindlewood Bay Busy Beavers Scouting Troop are here as well, having arrived last night to rough it in the Arboretum and catalog rare trees in pursuit of their brilliant beaver badges. Their leader for this excursion is Top Beaver, Kiana Gilbert, who you also will have interacted with in the past as the head of the Brindlewood Bay Cultural Center. As you collect your maps in the Welcome Center, you actually notice Kiana Gilbert heatedly speaking to a hunched-over older woman tending to one of the many raised flower beds in the space. In a huff, Kiana says some kind of parting shot, and then stalks off to go stand fuming by the large glass doors that open to the garden grounds. You find yourself currently in the Welcome Center. Seeing as this is a location, we're going to introduce the location, give you a paint the scene question before we really dig in. In the Welcome Center, it is filled with raised flower beds, hanging plants, maps, and pamphlets. The Welcome Center is where everyone's journey into the natural wonder of the Arboretum begins. What about the layout and decor of the Welcome Center make it clear that the garden director, Maggie Mulch, cares much more about the well-being of the plants than the experience of the visitors? This is our paint the scene question.
If you get too close to the plants, a audible alarm goes off. Like,
Mhm,
you know, at those museums, if you get too
mhm.
close to a painting or whatever, and they just
Mhm.
like that.
There's like
Yes.
a buffet sneeze guards as well.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And the welcome center itself is cold,
Mm.
drafty, hasn't been maintained. They don't want people here.
Yeah, tiles are cracked, walls are peeling. Plants look great though.
Just
Love
can't
that.
smell them because of the sneeze guard.
So you're here in the Welcome Center. You see this scene between Kiana and this older woman. You see, of course, the various other people we've identified in here: our hipster catwalker, the Nettle Leaf vendor, and the cosplay rave club. And of course, you now have your maps for the whole garden center. What do you do? What the Mavens up to?
Hmm. I guess one of us should talk to Kiana and one of us should talk to the person they were talking to. But we can talk about that in person.
I mean, I would like to find out where the bathrooms are, just in case.
Yeah, you can spot the bathrooms from the entrance. The sign is a little bit overgrown with ivy, and
Oh,
you
okay.
can't quite make out like which side is which. This is definitely like gendered bathrooms, but one of them is the well, they're both covered in ivy, so
Okay.
but there are bathrooms.
Do you think that we need to talk, or that we should talk to Kiana? I mean, the last time we ran into her, it was
Yeah, she
tricky.
always has something for us, huh?
We're supposed to be here on, a trip, enjoy the flowers and the plants and Arbor Day.
Relax. Everybody relaxes on Arbor Day.
Mhm.
Allergies.
Oh, are you allergic to cottonwood? I hate cottonwood. I'm allergic to that too.
Probably allergic to Khaleesi.
To what?
I can put the cigarette out if you want.
I mean, and she points at Keanu.
Ah,
Hey, Kiana!
Uh,
Ah.
yeah, you yell across the space. Kiana, who is kind of like looking down and like stroking her chin and definitely in her own little world, like perks up, and her eyes focus in on the three of you having come in just through the front entrance by the major kiosk there with the maps and the like, and some kind of recognition passes across her face, and then I think specifically she locks eyes with Bill, and then her face sort of droops, and she
Mm.
gives like a half-hearted wave, uh, and then kind of tilts her head to the side, and then kind of more urgently waves the three of you over towards her. Um,
Happy Arbor
I
Day.
go over there for sure.
Happy hour. Did you say happy hour?
Yeah.
Our Arbor Day.
Oh.
yeah, it's Arbor Day, sure. Uh, uh, and actually, first
Well, I
she
mean,
like
that's not why you're here, to celebrate the great trees and plants of our earth.
I was more here to help guide the hearts and minds of the youth on a path towards
Oh, that's
appreciation
so
of
sweet.
nature. And uh,
That
well,
sounds lovely.
it was a good idea at first, and you can see as she's kind of gesturing, her hands are like kind of covered in soil. She's like shaking, trying to get some of it off. And she's normally like very, very smartly dressed. And today is like no different really. It's just she's like in uniform. She's got a big, bold brown vest on that is just like absolutely covered in small merit badges of various kinds. She's wearing a ball cap that has little beaver ears on it. That says it has like the logo for the Busy Beavers on the very front. And she's
Cute.
got like a colored ascot that's like what's the color for the top beaver? Probably like a gold ascot of some kind. That's just tying in with
Obviously.
her whole look. And she gestures out towards the gardens behind and says, "Well, we came here to camp last night, right? And this is like a big sort of coming of beaver sort of experience for the troop, and so they were supposed to do all of this, mostly on their own. I was not supposed to intervene or involve myself, besides getting them here, chaperoning, that sort of thing. But once they actually sent them out into the woods, it was their job to make camp, and of course being mindful of all, and she like kind of gives a half smile, all local policies. But we've been doing this for years, and we've had no issues before. But when I went back out over to the edge of the forest this morning to gather the troop together, we're going to come to the center of the gardens for our sort of promotional ceremony to Brilliant Beaver, for all of our wonderful scouts. They didn't. They weren't there. I went to the woods and they weren't there, and nobody here is taking me seriously. We were scheduled to have our ceremony an hour ago.
Well, are you sure you're here on the right day?
I dropped the kids off there last night.
Is it
lost your
daylight savings?
beavers?
Are you in the right location?
Yes, this is. I feel gaslit right now.
What does that mean? There's no legs?
Kiana
you
starts to
okay?
explain and then is like, no, I'm fine. I've just been scrabbling around in the dirt trying to find where the Beaver Scouts have gone off to. This was supposed to be a day of grand celebration, a celebration of nature, of the earth, and it's difficult to do that when the children I am responsible for seem to have disappeared, and nobody here is helping.
Hang on, wait a
Have you
minute.
told the parents?
Wait a minute. Braden's not missing, is he?
Oh, yeah, there's a Braden and like you see Kiana mentally connect the dots. That explains why he's a little shit. I mean,
Is
yeah, Braden's with the troop, of course. He's the biggest beaver this year.
They grow up so fast.
Mm.
Where was the last place you saw them?
And where did you leave your
forest.
beavers?
The forest?
There's the arboreal rescue at the back of the botanical gardens. It makes up most of the grounds. We've had a relationship for the last decades to come out here, and it's a relatively, there's no like dangerous animals or anything, so it's a good safe forest to have the kids in and let them start a sizable but not too sizable fire, and I don't know, do growing up in the woods things. It's supposed to be a fine event, a safe event.
Beavers
old are
wild in
these?
nature.
How old are these kids in like the range?
Like 10 to 16, 10 to 15. I don't know. How old is Braden?
Braden's 15, dear.
Okay, 10 to 15. He's the biggest beaver, so.
So you let very young teenagers out into a forest of about 200 acres alone with no chaperones.
We've done this for years.
Yeah, they're okay.
They've been adequately trained. They know what the local plants and wild. They're here to collect tree samples.
I'll phone Braden. I pull out my phone, which has googly eyes on the case.
Yeah.
Like so many googly
You can
eyes.
try giving a call, but not like the signal's any good out here. We're in God knows nowhere, Massachusetts.
Oh, you don't know how trees access the internet? They log on.
See,
Use
for
the
a second
mushroom.
a second there, I thought you were gaslighting me again, and now I realize it was just
What's
for a
that
really
mean?
shitty joke.
Oh, my
Is
kids,
that
my
what this
kids
is?
love it.
Is this a joke
Wow.
that you children are missing right now?
You lose a couple kids and suddenly, no jokes.
He's Beaver's losing it.
We came here to enjoy the botanical gardens, and here we are on a job. Are we going to get paid for this one again?
If we can keep this from the parents so they don't think that I'm an irresponsible top beaver.
I think you're already screwed.
I
Bill's grandson is missing.
well
Brayden!
technically Bill's grandson and 12 other children are missing if we're
Yeah.
really
I'm
splitting
serious,
hairs over this.
Brayden!
So it's 12, 10 to 15-year-olds that you're missing.
Look, I
Are they
really
armed
don't
and
want to have to report
dangerous?
this to the boss beaver, okay? Can we keep this on the down low? Fine, they're in the woods somewhere, just no it's as you said, it's like nearly 200 acres. I'm just one very exasperated woman today.
Muriel, I love your hair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Couldn't focus on what you were saying. It was so squeezing
Itchy.
my head.
Oof.
But we're here. I got a dye job.
It looks wonderful.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, the stylist did an excellent job.
I hear that brown is the new white.
Yeah, I got some too much dirt in my hands.
Really
Okay.
knocked the years off you.
So we're looking for 12 kids. In
And-
what
and
part
Brayden.
of the Braden?
What part of Brayden? What are you talking about?
No. I was just trying to make sure I had the name down right. Because I'm starting to develop a
Brayden.
little bit of dementia now in my old age.
Oh,
What part of the this place did you
So,
leave the kids?
Here, did one of you have a map?
yep. Here you go.
Perfect. And she grabs it and she holds it up for you all to see. You can tell that the shape of the whole garden grounds of the mulch botanical gardens is kind of like a teardrop shape. The welcome center is at like the tip of that, and then from there are three other zones, and then at the very base you have to kind of get through one of those other three zones to get to. There is the arboreal rescue, which makes up like a good portion of the whole shape. This huge clump of trees at the bottom of the gardens. And in order to get there, and this is actually a time to indicate some of the other locations. So there's the Welcome Center, of course, where you are currently. There are three different paths that you can go through in order to get to the arboreal rescue. One is Grandmother's Garden. One is the nursery. And one is the topiary courtyard.
Cap fell
Also,
off.
We
Cap
have
fell
lost
off.
Cap.
He died.
Hopefully he'll be
RIC.
back.
Justin Cap.
I'm so sorry. You said the Welcome Center.
Yeah,
Can
so
you
we're in the
repeat
Welcome
those
Center
names
now.
again?
The destination that we're trying to get to is the Arboreal Rescue.
Yep.
That's the trees. Along the way, there is Grandmother's Garden, which is one of the exhibits. There is the Nursery, which is one of the exhibits. And there is the Topiary Courtyard, which is one of the exhibits.
What does topiary garden mean?
So topiaries are big. Well, size varies, but these ones are quite large. Big. They're not statues. Have you ever seen like a bush that's shaped like something?
Yeah.
That's a topiary.
Okay, so
Uh,
shaped
Your
so-
bushes.
elephants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like shaped like elephants. You have like the chess piece ones. You have like that sort of thing. Big
And-
shaped bushes.
You have to kind of go through all of these to get to the arboreal
Any one
rescue.
of them. You don't have to go
Okay.
through all three. It's kind of like the path diverges, and you can go down any one of them in order to go to the arboreal rescue at the back,
Okay.
or all of them. You could split up and go that way. Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
baby.
mhm.
The three
I'm
of us.
into it.
Are there
Dibs
any
on left.
golf carts?
There are definitely some rental scooters for people to enjoy
Like
the
us.
gardens. Yeah, if you need one, it's a lot of walking. Admittedly,
We're senior citizens.
there's a rental fee that is like $50 for the day.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
How to make the rules?
Do they accept Medicare?
Can we put it on our insurance card?
Only if you want to have like an hour and a half long call with your insurance first.
Mm.
My daughter can handle it. But seriously, what do we want to do? I kind of actually want to talk to the info person and find out what kind of plants are in the arboreal rescue.
I want to go straight there.
Yeah.
I love a split up.
Okay.
I mean, Brindlewood Bay is all about the fanning out and the coming together. So,
All right, where should we meet when we're done exploring?
What about Ned's?
Ned's Nettles, yes, a snack after we explore.
Mm-hmm.
a post-explore snack.
Okay.
Everyone
so we're
brought their
gonna-
gun, right? No,
Uh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I brought some snacks and
Mm-hmm.
some Tabasco sauce.
Ah,
I have brownies. I'm not sure which kind I grabbed though.
we'll let fate decide.
Mhm.
All right, everybody take a brownie. We split up. We meet at Ned's Nettles. Let's go. Nom, 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 nom. I don't know why I make that noise. Sometimes I feel like a raccoon.
Yeah, Kiana gives like a soft wave as you leave and says, I'll be here. I'm going to speak with Maggie and see if I can convince her to give me some more manpower.
Whatever, Calypso.
we like, the camera sticks around with Kiana for just a second and she turns around and goes like, why do I trust these people? And she heads back inside.
I eat my brownie too.
Yep.
Question,
We're taking your void
David.
mystery up
Yeah.
there.
Are we supposed to put the map in our cozy place, or is that something else?
This can just be in your notes.
Sorry.
If it's actually, I'll say if it's something that you would be inclined to use to help a roll later, like maybe if you're trying to navigate, I could definitely see you all adding a map of the arboreal gardens to your cozy place.
Okay.
They were free on the shelves.
Oh, we took them. We take all the
Mhm.
freebies.
So where are you guys headed?
Straight there.
Left.
Yeah, there are 3 zones. Also, I'll say the left path is grandmother's garden, the middle path is the nursery, and the right path is the topiary courtyard.
Grandma.
You said straight was the topiary garden?
Right.
Yeah, right at the topiary. Actually, no, I say that. Let's reverse that. I want the topiary courtyard in the middle because aesthetically having like a more open courtyard with things is just like the better way to construct it.
true.
So left is grandmother's garden, center is topiary courtyard, nursery is on the right.
Cool. I want to find out more information about these plants. So wherever the best place to do that, that's where I'm headed.
Well, there's like a little info in the key. What I would suggest then is maybe perhaps the nursery, which is a huge greenhouse complex where they grow many of the plants and rare trees that they then plant in the gardens for people's enjoyment and visiting. So it's a good place to get an idea of the stuff that's grown here.
Okay.
So does that mean Bill is heading straight on towards the back through the topiaries?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Perfect split.
Oh, where do we want to start? Let's go. Let's start with grandmother's garden. We'll start with you, Cap.
Yeah.
We'll start with the left path. All of the walkways here are lined with neat little hexagonal red bricks hammered into the earth, filled with sand to prevent them from shifting over time. And so you follow this path down and around to your left. You're surrounded by some of the old growth trees that do filter this far up in the gardens. There's various well-manicured bushes. And eventually you pass under this beautiful trellis covered in ivy and various flowering, fruiting plants. As you enter, you see a labeled zone, Grandmother's Garden. This is a lush and vibrant garden bursting with vegetal life. All of the plants are labeled with small stake placards in the ground, and all of the labels have sinister, witchy names: lamb's tongue, pig's ear, hen of the woods, eye of newt, witch hazel, etc. As you get deeper, the names get stranger and more foreboding. I want everyone to name and describe a plant that you see. Which is more ominous, the name of the plant or the plant itself?
I have to go with bleeding heart.
Classic.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make the wart willow
Ooh, what's a wart willow look like?
yeah, we all know what a willow looks like, but imagine it less full, a little more brown in the willow part, and the trunk and branches are full of these bulbous, wart-looking knots in the wood.
I like that.
I don't. It's scary.
Panic name, Old Man's Nuts.
All right. Excellent.
It's got wrinkly, round, droopy things. Yep.
Are they
It could be
fruits
fruit,
or
or it could be seeds. You don't want to know.
I think
seeds?
the Latin name loosely translates to elephant testicle, and then the colloquial name, Old Man's Nuts.
Yeah, because they're not elephant-sized.
No. Perfect.
I'm glad I came to
guess.
this garden.
Wonderful place
In the
to be.
far, far off distance, you hear, "Why did the pine tree get in trouble? Because it was being naughty."
You've been hiding little placards that you brought with you around with good tree puns, just all around the botanical garden. That's your secret mission.
Yep.
Yeah, you're still here early in the day. You don't see anyone immediately, but these gardens are each of these sections are like a good chunk of land that they sweep, and there are, of course, a variety of plants and trees kind of all in your way, so you can't quite get a grasp of everything here immediately. But is there any inclination you have? Are you going to try to look for someone? Are you going to try to look among the plants? What are you looking for? What's your agenda?
I am looking for signs of children activity, candy wrappers, discarded sashes, beaver ears. You know, that's my main goal. I'm looking for these kids. I'm not going to get distracted by all these gross plants.
Hell yeah. That sounds to me like a meddle with reason. You're kind of following your eyes in a detective follow your nose sort of
Yeah,
sense. Yeah, let's see it.
reasons +1 for me. That looks okay.
Don't-
6, 7,
don't-
8 on the dice.
Don't
What's up?
forget
You also
minus
Minus one.
one from Jay.
I have a -1. How do we do them on your stream? Are they sequential or do they cancel each other out? Because I have a
They
-1 and a
can-
+1 from Jay.
They can cancel each other out if you so choose.
All right, Jay, you canceled yourself. Congratulations. It's a flat roll. That is 8 on the dice +1 is a 9.
Heck yeah. Well, 9 is still a mixed success. Okay, here's how it goes. You're rooting around by some of the trash cans. You're looking for signs that the children were there, right? You're looking for refuse they might have left behind as they made their way less delicately towards the back. Any signs that they're still around. And as you're there, kind of snooping, you hear a soft voice behind you say, "You really shouldn't be here." And you turn you turn to see a woman there. She has a name tag. She works here. It's branded for the Mulch Family Gardens, and you can see that her name is Hyacinth Mulch. She looks far too thin. She has dark, deep bags under her eyes, creased worry lines all around her face. She has very wispy blonde hair. There's no telling what her former self was, but she's certainly a shadow of it. And she gestures back. "No good will come of you digging into this. Digging only unearths what should remain hidden. You should leave here."
Is that a poem? That's a weird way to talk to somebody. Hi, I'm Muriel, your Hyacinth. That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Why is this not a good place to be? And what is it that you think that I am doing here / looking for?
She doesn't answer your second
Yeah.
question because why would she, of course?
Yeah.
But instead, She gestures down. There's loose earth next to the trash can. And she says, "How desperate are you to dig?"
Like physically or metaphorically? I don't want to physically dig. Metaphorically, I love digging.
Even if there's danger.
Especially if there's danger.
She kind of nods.
I
You're
nod,
resigned then.
I guess.
She hands you a trowel. That's a well-worn handle, a spiked tip. You can add this to your cozy place. And she gestures once more to the loose earth and says, "If you're intent to dig, get to it."
Do I feel compelled to dig?
No, you don't feel compelled.
Okay.
There's nothing too spooky going on right now, apart from Hyacinth kind of just being a generally threatening persona.
Sure.
Um,
Do you want to stay on the scene?
yeah.
Okay.
I've got a stinger exit to it, so.
I mean, I'm going to back up to go to dig, but not taking my eyes off her as much as I can.
She just
I'll
watches
dig
you.
Okay, yeah. I start digging.
Yeah, you start digging. It does not take you very long. You only get through a couple of inches of very loose soil when you hit something harder. You think at first maybe a stone, and then you scrape a little bit away, and you see like wood grain, and you're like, oh, okay, so like maybe it's just a large root or
Oh
something.
no.
I thought it was a
And
bone. That's fine.
you dig a little bit deeper, and that relief you felt melts away from you a little bit as you reach into the earth and you pull out in your hand an anatomically correct human heart, but it seems to be made out of wood.
What? Hmm.
And you cast a quick glance behind to look for Hyacinth to like ask what the hell this is, and Hyacinth is nowhere to be seen.
Real quick.
Yeah.
If you want to add the scene on this, can I knock on it to see if it's hollow?
Yeah, you can knock on it. You knock, and like an ocarina, it makes like a sort of hollow noise.
Ooh.
Like all those pipes are the way they're meant to be.
Ocarina Wooden Heart going in my notes.
Let me mark this in mind.
I pocket it and I keep the trowel.
Excellent. Let's move on to. I'm going to come to the topiary last. Let's do the right path next. So let's go to the nursery.
Cool.
Sunny, you approach a towering complex of interconnected geodesic domes. The outer glass tinted translucent green. It is full of young and developing plant life of all kinds. When you enter, it looks like a fairly normal, if ornate, greenhouse. What other signs flood your senses apart from sight that make your instincts whisper you are in danger? And this can be like a broad everybody can answer this paint the scene question.
Hmm. I feel like the sounds of like insects buzzing.
It's like loud. There's more than a few.
Yeah, like you'd expect, some bees or whatever. But this is like cicada loud.
Droning.
I was taking notes and wasn't paying attention as well as I should have been. What are we describing?
So the paint
The
the scene
nursery?
question is, when you enter the nursery, which is just a large, complex series of greenhouses, it looks like a fairly normal greenhouse. However, what other signs flood your senses apart from sight that make your instincts whisper you are in danger?
There's a ton of butterflies, but none of them are flying. They're all staying still on their perches.
No.
Like you can see they're alive and their wings are like, They're arranging their wings, they're cleaning themselves or whatever they do, but none of them are flying. They're even,
Cap
like,
just
on the
wants
ground.
me. You just want me to live my worst nightmare. I
I am
hate
sorry.
going into those like butterfly, like whatever you call them. I know
Oh,
they
This
won't
is
really?
my
hurt you,
favorite part of this
but
game,
just like
is group description.
You smell blood.
Oh, excellent.
What a weird thing to come back and say.
We hear droning. We see like limp, alive but not flying butterflies, and you smell blood. How does Sunny feel about this upon entry to the nursery?
very uneased. Um she loves butterflies, but it's very
Not like this.
unsettling. Very unsettling that they're not flying and moving. You said there was a smell of blood?
Yeah, there's a smell of blood.
Or pennies. It doesn't have to be blood.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I've got the perfect detail to add to the scene. So in front of you are like just rows and rows of various potted plants of different sizes. There are racks with little seedlings and little patches of earth. Some of them you see little sprouting leaves from, some of them you don't. There are, of course, a chorus of butterflies out and about. Hydrate.
We're just doing it so nobody drinks alone, I guess. We're hydrating ourselves.
Gotta drink
Hydrate or
together.
hydrate.
Damn straight. And as I mentioned, there's like several different buildings to this complex. So like the domed entrance you're in right now, there's a tunnel that sort of connects it onto the next one. And you see there's like a long table and a few benches are like around the corner. And you see draped over the edge of one of the benches, just out of sight, the rest of it, you see draped a human arm.
Hello?
Yeah, you're currently maybe 30 feet away from that scene. You call out into the deafening silence, the humming of insects only of this greenhouse. And you hear no response. The hand does not move.
Guess curiosity killed the cat. Thanks, Cap. I just saw it. I was looking at my notes.
It's a really good stretch. Wow.
I
way to do it.
have in my cozy place,
Mhm.
I think it's the firework poppers. Like, you throw on the ground and they pop.
Yeah.
Is the floor in here dirt or like cement or?
It's like dark green, like little penny tile.
Okay, so if I throw a couple of poppers on the ground, would they
Yeah, they pop.
make the noise?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna do that, but maybe towards the arm to see if
Yeah,
anything
I would say this is a day move, composure, and what are you worried about is going to happen when you do this?
a number of things. I mean, the first thing that came to mind, and I don't know if this is just me or my character, but all the butterflies like coming
Yeah.
alive and like attacking me.
That's all I was thinking.
Kill the little old lady. Smother her with her wings.
Okay. And you said composure?
Yeah, it's composure.
Okay.
You're keeping your
Got
cool.
this.
Oh, great. That's going to be a 4.
Oh, a hard miss. Well, we'll narrate what happens, and then you can feel free to use a crown if you'd like to. I do think you slam these poppers down, and what your worst fear does come to fruition. Moving as one, almost like a school of fish, which is not a way
no.
that butterflies behave.
No.
All of these butterflies lift off, and in this buoyed motion, they join up to school and then swirl over you and are just like everywhere around you. It is most disconcerting, most unpleasant. It's a day move, so like you're not like dying yet, but
I'm dying inside.
yeah, it's more emotional damage than anything else. Do you want to keep this, or do you want to put on a crown?
I feel like I haven't done a lot of crowns, so I want to put a crown on.
All right. You
Nice.
have at your
On the
disposal the
crown.
crown of this mystery, the crown of the canopy. In addition, you also have your various crowns of the queen and crowns of the void, if you would rather dig into those.
Today's.
I was contemplating it. I think I want to put on one of the crown of the queen, and I want to do a scene in the present day showing a private side of you very few get to see.
Yeah, sounds great. So you throw it on these poppers, and instead of the butterflies swirling, a different result will happen. But first, do you want to narrate your scene now? We could also have you narrate it later if you don't have anything directly in mind.
I do have something in mind, but we can do it later.
Okay.
Whenever you think is
Then
thematically.
instead, what you see happens as you throw down the popper, they pop loudly. The butterflies remain unmoving, which I think is almost worse. They just stay on their perches and flutter menacingly. But you do see down that hallway where you saw just the edge of this arm across this bench, you just see the hand like twitch, like somebody heard that and responded, as opposed to somebody is lying dead there. You see the hand like slowly retreat out of view as whoever it is has woken up and has sat up there on the bench.
Hello? Excuse me? I'm looking for information on the plants. Hello?
Yeah. You wait what feels to you like a small eternity, but finally, slowly, a small, petite, very drowsy-looking woman rounds the corner. She's wearing a pink dress with black polka dots. She's got a little badge on her chest that has the identifier for the gardens and says that her name is Rosehip Mulch. She is one of the mulch ladies. She yawns. Oh, you interrupted my nap, and you aren't even the one I was
You're so
waiting
rude.
for. What could I have possibly done to deserve this?
I'm very sorry.
Did you set off fireworks?
What? No. What? Why would an old lady like me have fireworks, especially in a botanical garden?
Oh, I thought I. Okay.
That must have been a very strange dream you were having. Why were you sleeping in here?
The temperature's right.
But during business, never mind. Who do I speak to about? I'm wondering about getting some information about the different plants that you have here.
And she looks utterly crestfallen. I guess I can help with that.
Oh, what do you usually do? Besides,
I was sleeping.
do you always sleep?
Well, it passes the time. Anyway, what did you want to know?
I was just curious. What kind of plants do you have? That you grow in the arboreal rescue.
She kind of turns. Oh, well, we've got some young green ones here. They flower. Over here we got like the baby trees. They're made out of tree.
Are these just general names or like the actual? Like I've never heard of a young tree species.
Let me get my cue cards.
Stop.
And she like
Be
turns
honest.
around. If you want to look around, or if you're trying to mine, was it? Yeah, Rosehip. We're trying to mine Rosehip for information. I will take a metal move with. If you're trying to mine her for information, I'll take a presence. Otherwise, it would be reason.
I want to mine her for information and suspicion.
Mind her about the beavers.
Then roll
Mind our
presence.
beavers.
Yeah. Okay.
And I see
I get a
add
plus
1 to your roll
one.
from
Heck yeah.
Dixon. Oh yeah.
Hey, 3s all around. 9.
Heck yeah. A 9 is a mixed success. Much better than your previous roll.
Thanks for rubbing it in.
And actually, it was a mixed success before, and it was on a day move. So let's also give you the condition. Add to your conditions. Endless butterflies.
Does the previous condition does not?
Yeah. You still have the previous condition. This is something I left on
okay.
everyone after a void clue from last session. We'll get to the implications of that later. I guess I'll say for the audience, all of the Mavens currently have a condition, the Raven Watches, which if you joined us for our last session, there was a large black raven related void clue towards the end of that session.
Not ominous. Sorry, what was the name of the condition?
This is Endless Butterflies.
For some, that might not be spooky, but for me, it's terrifying.
So sorry.
And on this mixed success, we'll come back to this. This is a metal. You will get some information here from Rosehip. But first, we're going to go and pick up with Bill over in the Topiary Courtyard. I'll introduce that real quick. The Topiary Courtyard is a checkered paths, a collection of checkered paths of stone and flowering ground cover, which are dotted with an eclectic collection of intricately shaped topiaries. My question to the group, our paint the scene: what are the sculpted? What about the sculpted topiaries here make you think the artist behind them has a violent or sadistic streak?
It's missing fingers and toes.
Oh, that's fun.
Wow.
Butterflies. Just kidding.
I think
The inside of
some of
one is
the
red cloth in it.
Oh.
The inside has what?
Red cloth inside of it. They've put it in to make it look.
Oh, like there's blood inside of them.
like,
That's fun.
yeah.
I think something that would be very unnerving to see is if it was topiaries of humanoids, not animals or shapes, like people in positions that is not violent per se, but unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
Very uncanny valley topiary.
With
Exclusively
missing fingers and toes
non-animals.
and filled with red cloth and maybe some flowers or things to indicate blood.
I hate it.
Wonderful. So it is in this glorious landscape that you find yourself, Bill.
But Bill's calling out for Brayden, but when she sees the creepy topiary, she's kind of like, oh, that's some bad art there. And she reaches into her purse and she pulls out some rather large googly eyes and,
Oh, I
and
love it.
affixes them to a couple of the.
Yeah, you're going to put them on one of the topiaries, and you hear behind you, "Excuse me, what are you doing to those?"
I'll ignore the voice.
No, you can't put those there. That it disrupts. That one took hours to produce that way, and what you're doing right now is wholly unacceptable.
I'm covering the genitals, and I'll put them down lower where the genitals would be.
They don't. Well, she looks up to the side. They could. Oh. I like
There's
where
some
your
old
head's
man
at.
balls
What's
down
your
here. We just
name?
covered them. My name? And I'll turn around and I'll put on my new glasses. My name's Bill.
She reaches out her hand to you as you turn to see her. She's tall, powerful, a bright red sundress, and matching red irises, actually.
Ooh,
She has on her chest as well a little badge for the Mulch Gardens. And her name is Camellia Mulch.
Amelia.
Well, I think you have wonderful ideas. That sounds great. We should add genitals.
really big ones.
She nods in happy agreement. The bigger, the better.
Hang on a
The
second.
people need to be able to see them. They need to resonate with them.
One moment. And she'll turn back around and she'll grab some of that cloth and kind of pull it out so it looks like this
Oh my god.
wrinkly little penis. She'll turn back. What do you think?
She holds up her hand to high five you.
Oh,
Yeah, the two of you high five over this topiary penis. A sentence I did not think I was going to say
Nope.
today.
Mark your
Not on
bingo
my
card.
not on my bingo card. Although Sero bringing this into the game was on my bingo card, so I guess
Yeah,
it's just a
good
matter of where. It's just a matter of when.
I was well behaved when I guest starred on Shrimp and Crits 2 days ago. I'm not being well behaved now.
Now she's off leash.
Anyway, do you like my sunglasses? My grandson got them for me. He says they're dope.
She looks at them and says, "Well, I don't think they quite go with what you're wearing today, but I do see them as a fashion choice. Your grandson has good taste. Is he in the gardens today too?"
Oh, well, he was, but apparently he's missing.
Oh, what a shame.
He's one of those beavers.
Oh, a lot of beefers around here.
The Boy Scouts.
Yeah, I know what we were talking about.
Okay, I was just checking. So have you seen them?
I mean, they came in last night, yeah?
Yeah, and apparently they disappeared.
Oh, kids do that.
All 12 of them at the same time.
Oh, my daughter's running around all the time. I never know where she is.
Well, I don't know where my daughter is either, but that's something completely different.
Is it?
She's been missing for 10 years, so completely different.
Well, kids will be
Oh my
kids,
gosh,
right?
my grandson better not be missing for 10 years. Come with me! And I grab her and drag her off to where I'm supposed to be going.
Yeah, Camilla will just run after you no, but I thought we were going to talk about the topiaries.
Penis later, grandson first.
Shocking.
The two of
Meet
you
the beavers.
continue.
I've got a shirt that says that.
The two of you continue on towards closer towards the arboreal rescue at the back. Actually, let's introduce that location and then we'll get back to the others. As you get to the end of the path through the topiary courtyard, you see in front of you just a veritable wall of trees. There are, of course, many trees sprinkled throughout the rest of the gardens, but this is the forest proper. They start to grow much more densely and thickly pretty much immediately as soon as you arrive at the border of them. There's a big old sign that says, the Mulch Arboreal Rescue. Makes up the majority of the grounds here. Its paths extend far after the end of the other botanical garden exhibits, and the Arboreal Rescue makes up most of the grounds. This is on my notes. I already said this. The rescue is filled with native trees and shrub, as well as species the world over, including some found only here at the gardens. The two of you go in together, I think you and Camellia, and this is a paint the scene question for the group. Something about this forest is hungry. You can't quite put your finger on it. As you make your way deeper in, what gives you the sense that leaving is far more difficult than entering?
The branches seem to close in together behind us.
I think if we're getting that level of things are starting to get weird, when you walk, it's like, is it a dirt path?
Yeah, dirt path.
So as you're walking, you look down, you see yourself making footprints, and you don't see any others. But when you look back, it looks like there was a group dancing. There's like so many footprints, all going different directions, all different sizes.
How about you, Miah? What do you think?
Something butterfly related.
I thought about bugs, but
Bugsterfly.
I think the farther you go in, the darker it gets.
Mm. So it's growing a little bit darker. The branches are seeming to close in a bit behind you, and it's almost like there's a sea of people who have walked these, and it's only as you get deeper in that you realize that their footsteps are all behind you, and your path is not really knowable amongst the sea of others who have been here before. Does Bill express any trepidation about this to Camellia?
About how it looks.
Yeah, about how it all looks. A little bit strange.
You got a creepy ass forest in here.
And this will be the end of the scene. We'll move back to the others. Camellia shrugs and says, "It's just like this." Let's pick up with Muriel back on the left path, back in Grandma's garden. You found this anatomically correct human heart made out of wood. The woman you were speaking with, Hyacinth
Hyacinth.
Mulch, has vanished.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Is there a deeper path, or would I have to go back out to the nexus of paths?
All three of these areas, if you follow the path for long enough,
Okay.
you can find your way to the woods.
Yeah, I am trowel in hand going to head deeper.
Awesome. You head towards the woods, and as you reach the border of them, you as well see the arboreal rescue sign. You see the path. I think it's been this, as we mentioned, like set brick stone, sort of along the way. But that ceases and instead converts to this originally mulch, but then quickly gives way to dirt path that goes off deeper into the forest. Do you do anything before you go in, or do you just head in?
I'm going to look for in my walk from grandma's to here. I'm going to be looking for disturbed ground, like where the heart was buried, just to see if there's any more breadcrumbs buried
Yeah,
on the
let's get another metal roll on that. This one will
Sure.
be if you're either reason or composure. I could see.
It's all +1, baby.
Doesn't matter then.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that's 9 on the dice. +1 is a 10.
Hey, that's great. Do you want to burn a crown and bump that to a 12 plus?
I'm going to leave it at 10 right now.
All right. Then I think right at the edge of the forest, before you go in, you see a patch of freshly disturbed earth, and it looks similar, or of similar age to the one that you dug up earlier. And so, trowel in hand, you go ham. You start getting that dirt out of there, trying to see what's buried underneath, and you do find a clue inside of there. Let
Ooh.
me find. I know which one I want here. If I can just get the.
Was the hollow wooden heart a clue?
Yes, that was a clue.
Okay, I put it on my clue list. Just
Me
Yep.
too.
good.
Is it clue list?
I think, well, my personal clue list that I make
Ditto.
when we play.
Just got to read everything because I can't find the one I'm looking for. There it is.
So excited.
You find once again your trowel hit something hard, and this time when you shave it away, rather than seeing the sign of bark or wood, or even stone, which you somewhat expect, or even bone, which you worry about, instead you see a hard, almost translucent substance. You see amber. And as
Ooh.
you dig underneath and pull it out, what you find is one of those busy beaver ascots, but not the top beaver ascot, not a gold one. This is a normal red busy beaver ascot that is encased totally in amber.
Amber encased ascot is a really fun thing to write and say. This all
I
seems
also have it worded
terrible.
as a busy beaver's bandana, which is also fun to say.
That is very fun to say. I'll put that in parentheses. Before I take my first step into the woods, you described it as an ocarina. I want to see what happens if I, like a jug, not putting my lips on it, but
Yeah.
like a jug, I want to see if it carries air through it or if it stops.
It definitely. Well, actually, let me ask. This is the clue is worded as a anatomically correct heart that is made out of wood. I think that applies to the interior as well. That makes it weirder. I am no doctor. I know that there are multiple chambers to the heart, and they open and close based on muscle contractions, right? If a heart, not saying this is what happened, but if a heart were to be extracted from someone and then turned into wood, as could have happened here, would
It
they be
happens every
open
day.
or
I mean,
closed? I don't. How about this? Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do for you. You've arrived at the forest. By the way, everyone, once you go in the forest, you are no longer rolling day moves. It is now night moves in the forest.
cool.
So we'll say this is
Is
a
that
night
my
move.
fault?
Okay.
And what are you worried is going to happen?
I'm
What
worried.
concerns you about this?
Very specifically, I'm worried that it is going to sound as if it is supposed to be played, like a song or a note, not just a hollow noise.
I think it's worse than that. When you
Cool.
blow in this, whoever this belongs to will feel it.
Cool.
In their heart.
Whatever that sentence means.
Yeah.
So give me a night move with sensitivity.
That's my 0. That's 5.
You hold it in your hands and you blow in it gently, and to your horror and consternation, not only does it play like a perfect C note as you blow into this ventricle, you also feel it heat up gently in your hands, warming as if this is natural for it. This is what it desires most.
Can I pull a crown?
If you'd like.
I have an idea,
Yeah.
narratively.
Yeah.
There's the crown of a queen, which is a scene in the present day showing a private side that very few get to see. And I have an idea for it.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Muriel has a closet that she has redesigned in her condo, and it is a conspiracy wall. When the camera comes into the room, you see pictures from our past mysteries with red lines going through them, but at the center is this tree with a face
Mhm.
that has been haunting Muriel since the first one, maybe the second one.
Second one.
Second one.
Dream man.
Yeah, and I think like the picture of the tree fades into the picture of the wooden heart, showing Muriel being terrified of this being connected to that.
Yeah, so I think with your mixed success, then this gets bumped to you blow on it, and it does sound a little bit like a note, but
Hmm.
in the same way that blowing on a bottle with the right amount of water can sound,
Yeah.
relatively close. It feels less intentional, and there is no strange heating or beating. However, I think you will take the condition. Uh,
Mm.
let's do something related to. Let's do something about the Green Man because that's kind of
Yeah.
the source of this fear for you. Let's just call it the Green Man. Actually, take the condition the Green Man.
No stranger to that condition.
Yeah.
Then I step into the woods.
Step into the woods. Let's pick up with Sunny. I'll let you direct the conversation. You have was it a mixed success here, right?
Yes.
On
9.
this medal? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to direct the conversation as you see fit, you're asking about the plants. Is there anything in specific you're trying to dig into? And I'll see how
LOL, pun intended. Um, do you have any
Rosette responds.
dangerous? Are there any dangerous plants to be aware of when we're observing these wonderful creatures in your garden?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I'm looking at my clues to see what might make its way into this conversation. Um, yeah. You ask if there's any dangerous plants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of shrugs and says, I mean, I guess if you're like real curious about it, we've got a wing of the nursery with the weird stuff if you want to like take a look.
Huh. Interesting. Is it kind of like oh, there's a garden like that in I think England or somewhere that has all the bad plants.
Oh, well, I don't know whoever told you that plants were bad, but there's no such thing as a bad plant.
Is there such a thing as a mean plant?
Plants plants aren't burdened by that kind of, those kind of worries. That's what makes them so great.
Is it true that if you sing to a plant that like it'll grow well, but if you yell at it and be mean to it that it won't grow well?
And she like waves a hand and like gestures for you to follow her along through the greenhouse. She's like leading you where you were interested in, and she says, "Well, I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can, feed plants. They're pretty omnivorous, Just about everything will break down eventually. I suppose that applies to like song and dance too. Sure.
I'm very sorry to interrupt you, but why do you keep yawning? It's making me very tired. And you know that
Well,
yawning is contagious.
is it?
I mean, yes, I feel like I am being compelled to yawn, but also I believe that yawning is the cause of that your brain needs more oxygen, which seems kind of silly that you need more oxygen, considering that you're in this greenhouse type of thing where there'd be lots of oxygen.
Well, the plants are all, you know, transpiring. They're all breathing in
Are
and
you
stuff.
hungry?
I could eat.
So he's gonna pull out the brownie that Bill gave me.
Oh, I love brownies. Thank you. And she like takes a bite. This is really good. Is that
Oh,
like
thank you, my
macadamia
friend.
nut?
Oh, I'm not quite sure. My friend Bill gave it to me.
Interesting flavor.
Yep. I am kind of curious though. Am I the first person you've come across in the past 48 hours?
Uh, how long is that? I've been out for a bit.
Yesterday.
Uh, I've been out for like a week, so
Like, you've been sleeping for a week?
Yeah, it's like it ebbs and it flows, you know. And she gestures. There's a sign that says, like, actually, I'm going to give you all a free clue for this before we get to your actual clue inside of here. You see a sign on this region that says "No littering or loitering or else." And she says, "Yeah, they keep the weird stuff in there. They're growing. If you want to like check it out, I don't know too much about it though."
You know, I'm very concerned about your health. If you've been sleeping for a week straight, that doesn't seem very good.
Yeah, and, well, you check that out. I think I'm gonna go down for a nap. I think I'm a little under rested still.
Oh, well, if I could ask you, have you seen 12 young boys wearing brown hats that kind of resemble beavers?
Well, I feel like I'd remember that if I saw that. Oh,
So is that
but
a no?
if they're not the one that I'm waiting on, then I don't know. And she like settles down into a bench along the wall and she falls asleep.
Should I ask her who she's waiting on? I feel like that'd be like the last question to ask her. I'm gonna is there any like a hose or a bucket of water?
There is like a bucket labeled like plant feed that is full of like a murky liquid. It's probably some kind of fertilized water of something like that.
No.
Yeah.
A bucket of gray water. Enjoy.
Yeah, I want to try and lift that and
And
try and decide if I want to be mean or if I want to be nice.
So this will be good because I'll let you decide after you get your actual formal clue here. You see that bucket? It's like underneath one of the tables in this part of the greenhouse that you wanted to go see. And so you spot the bucket. You know, in a rush, head over to that. You bend down underneath the table. You grab hold of the handle at the top of the bucket. You start to lift it up, and that brings you eye level with kind of the raised flower bed that is here on this tabletop for easy access for the growers. And that also brings you face to face with this large gourd, this pumpkin, on the side of which is a human face.
how so?
How human? Like, is it a carved human face?
This
Like,
pumpkin,
that's cool.
this
It's pretty
pumpkin
talented.
has two eyes, a mouth, and a nose, and it looks at you slack jawed as you lift this bucket.
Just drop this bucket.
Yeah, it clatters to the ground. It sloshes a little bit of its water, but doesn't quite tip over. You can see there's a row of these. This is one section of this part of the greenhouse.
Are the eyes looking directly at me?
They seem to just be like looking off into the distance. They aren't moving. These pumpkins just have faces. Human ones.
Wave my hand in front of the pumpkin.
No big deal.
No big deal. Yeah, you wave your hand. No, they're fine. They don't move.
Is it like still a vine and it's attached, or is it like
totally? These are young pumpkins. They're not even that big yet.
Can I touch the pumpkin?
Yeah, you can touch the pumpkin. Actually,
give it a nice little.
You go to touch
slap.
the pumpkin. Give me a night move, actually, because this has those sorts of vibes. What are you worried is going to happen?
I'm worried that all these pumpkins are gonna become alive and just give me like Alice in Wonderland vibes. Just start screaming at me and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" And just come alive.
It's worse than that. That's going to happen, and you're going to recognize one of the pumpkins.
Wait, as a pumpkin or a face?
As you will recognize one of the faces.
Are these the boys okay.
Great.
What do you want me to what? What do you want me to do? What do I do?
This is a night move. Please roll sensitivity.
Oh fuck.
Plus
You
one.
Okay.
don't have sensitivity. You
Do
have
I-
negative sensitivity.
Dixon has given
I
you a
know.
plus one.
Dixon just gave me a +1, so it's a 0. Callie, do you believe in me? Nope. Thanks, Callie.
That sounded like a good one.
Okay. 7.
Yeah, that's
But
a
what
mixed
happens if
success.
I use the canopy crown?
Then you'd be promoted to a full success. But let's get the well. Actually, I think in this case, I'd probably just give you a condition anyway. So let's just go ahead and we'll. If you want to do the crown, then we'll do the full success.
Sero and Cap, do you mind if I use this crown?
I don't mind at all. That's what it's
Well,
here for.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll have
What?
full conditions.
Oh,
That's
that's
true.
true.
You're
The
getting a condition regardless, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
crown of the
I
canopy
disagree.
requirement is narrate a scene when your maven was delighted by the wonders of the forest. What
Uh.
token did they take with them from this moment, and where is it now?
So Sunny used to live on the West Coast, so lots of deserts and cacti and whatnot. And her mother used to press flowers, and so Sunny learned how to do that. And so before moving out of her home there, after her husband died, she had pressed one of the last blooming flowers from her garden there in California.
What kind of flower was it?
Pretty.
Yeah. Let me see. I have one in my mind, but I'm like, I don't know how you press that.
I mean, it's a fantasy. You can press. If it's a flower you like,
Hydraulic
you can press
press.
it. You can figure it out. Yeah, hydraulic press the flower.
You can press anything if you try hard enough. Trust me.
Right.
Can you press a bird of paradise?
Yeah. They hate
I
it.
wanted. I ran into that. I want it. You know what? I think it was a peony,
Okay. Awesome.
but like
So
it
you
wasn't
just-
a pink one. I think unusually it was like a yellowy orange. I don't know. I personally have never seen a yellowy orange peony.
It's the desert variant.
Yeah.
The D&E.
Those Californian peonies.
Yeah. Sunset peony. The
That's
orange.
right.
Oh,
I just want to point out that the accent differences. We say peony.
oh,
Peony.
Really?
Oh, fun.
So
Better
here
get
in
used to it,
peony, I
David.
was like, I think I know what that is.
The more you know.
Mm.
I'll
Sounds
put
a
that,
bit
put
like
that
peyote.
feather in my burgeoning New Zealand accent.
Mm-hmm.
do you also want to? Because we didn't really resolve the
Yeah, let's get your
other
other
crown.
other crown while we're here.
Because I kind of think that these two, if you don't mind, sort of like we can kind of lace them together.
I love
But I think
connecting scenes.
I think that the what did I choose? The private side. After Sunny like had clipped this peony, she put it in a collection of another flower that she was pressing, and she gets really quiet and sad because the other flower that she is drying and pressing is in memory of her son who passed away. And just I think just a quiet moment, and she cries, but nobody's there, and then she picks herself up and makes a batch of deviled eggs for her neighbors.
Like you do. Pressed flowers and deviled eggs would be a fun name for this part of the show.
It'll be in the recipe book that we release.
So Sonny, you are standing here in this, small batch of human-faced pumpkins. Our camera kind of zooms in on one of them, and then those kind of cuts where you have one thing that looks similar to the other thing, and then it like transitions to that, and then zooms out of that. We get that on this face of this particular pumpkin, and it switches out with the face of a person on a cell phone as someone is swiping through photos. And we pick up with Bill and with Camellia in the woods as Camellia is being like, and this was my ex? Oh, he was awful. Lord rue the day I speak to him again. But my new husband, and she swipes over to a different face. He's so cute. I could eat him right up. Look at him.
Oh, he's a bit skinny looking.
And she shrugs and says, everybody has their own taste.
Mm.
And the two of you are walking along through the forest. Are you continuing to look for your grandson? Are you? What are you
Every
doing?
so often, I'll probably inadvertently deafen Camellia by going, Brayden!
Yeah, every time you like stop to go and yell for a second, Camellia like pauses and she starts doing some poses, takes some selfies. She's putting together her Instagram reel for the day, sort of thing. She seems like pretty fine with just kind of hanging out with you as you're going on this, but she's not like doing very much to help.
I'll offer her a brownie.
Oh, she will absolutely like. Ooh, these macadamia nut.
Yes, sure.
She like takes a bite and is like, we're good. Oh. She's like, I'm just gonna make my lipstick run. Fuck. And she eats it a little bit more carefully. I love how we're just like giving pot brownies to the staff here. This will certainly end up well for everyone.
Casually dragging them all.
My goodness.
If you're, let's say you're calling for him, you're just kind of generally looking around. Are you interested maybe in a metal roll with, I could see composure or reason. Also, you're kind of like hiking through the woods right now, calling out. So I could also see vitality, I guess, if you're interested in that as the direction.
Well, composure or vitality, I have +1 for, so either of those works.
Yeah.
Reason, I have 0. I've been given a +1, a -1, and a +1. So I guess that's a +1.
Wonderful.
Love that.
5 and 5 is 10, +1 from the audience, +1 from what I've actually got, so it's 12.
Oh, 12 plus on a medal? Ooh. Hey, that's both a clue and a void clue. We love to see it.
Ooh.
Amazing.
That's... Well, actually, then let's do this. You're going to... You arrived here first. You've been marching forward the longest. You've been kind of like unabashed in your search, undaunted by any of the concerns behind you. So I think you're going to make it to the deepest reaches of the arboreal rescue first. You enter a new area of this forest, a new location called the Hemlock Grove. The old growth trees here are wide and close, their gnarled trunks twisting in complex patterns. The air is still, but the canopy of leaves above still shift gently by an unfelt breeze. The sunlight coming down is filtered as if through green-stained glass, casting shifting patterns on the ground below. Nearby in the branches, a bird warbles. What does this bird's call remind you of, and why does it haunt you?
Fox scream.
Heat.
Go with Sero's.
Sero, what'd you say?
Cat and heat.
So we've got... I'll take a few suggestions. We've got cats and heat as a suggestion. We've got fox scream. Cap, how about you? What does this bird's call remind you of, and why does it haunt you?
Someone's giggly.
It sounds like a church bell.
Oh,
That's scary to you?
Church bell. That's haunting.
How
it reminds me of funerals.
Yeah,
exactly. How does that come from an animal? Exactly.
Wow, you're not familiar with New Zealand birds, are you?
I was about to say, I don't know. I've seen Tui do that before. I first time in New Zealand, there was two tuies in a tree outside that their chattering sounded like two fax machines in a fight. It was the weirdest thing.
Facts
And they get
in a
drunk,
fight.
man.
Yeah, they can just reproduce noises they hear, and if you have tuies near the city, they will make some weird
Love it.
noises. They have heard some strange stuff. So
They're loud.
I think of the options there, I'm going to go with the church bell because I do think it sets the ambiance a little bit better than the other two options.
Rude.
So you hear this bird tittering like a deep and melancholic bell while you're here in this tree sanctuary, this hemlock grove. Your clue that you almost immediately see, Bill, is there is a ring of trees towards the middle of this part of the grove. Um, they're grown too orderly for this to have been a natural arrangement. And in the center of those trees, there is a perfectly level stump raised to about 2-3 feet off the ground, and the rest of that tree is just gone. So there's this little courtyard area of these trees with this leveled stump, and that's your clue.
Um, this reminds me of those little fairy rings, but with trees.
And once again, Camellia just shrugs and says, "The forest is just like this." And
Right.
she goes over, and actually, she is going to kind of inadvertently direct you to your void clue. There is a natural fountain flowing out of one of these trees into a root growth basin beside it. You are suddenly parched and feel kind of compelled to take a drink. You may use the night move to resist, but if you fail, you will gain a condition, the Child of the Forest.
I'll try and fight it because I have a flask, and that's got to be better than weird tree water in a weird forest, right?
Got to be, right?
And
Go for it.
aren't you supposed to put like pills in to decontaminate the water and the nature these days?
Yeah, we've already
Boil
set the
water.
stakes, so you can just go ahead and roll. This is plus sensitivity, which you are quite good at.
Yeah, I'm the only one good at that one, which is probably good because I rolled a 7 in total.
So that bumps you up to a 9. Oh, is there 7 including, or 7 on the dice?
7 in total.
In total. Okay, so it's a mixed success. Whew.
Better than a fail.
Then here's what happens. Because I have a couple of conditions that can happen here. So I do think you do feel compelled to drink it. On a mixed success, you still do. However, you will gain the condition, Child of the Forest, but your sensitivity is also going to increase by 1 for as long as you have that condition. You go over. The smell of it is sweet. It doesn't smell like stagnant water. It smells like clear, maybe a little bit of sap or something has drained into it. It smells very piney, very sweet. And you do kind of lean down, you cup your hands, you take a sip. The water fills you, and you feel energized. You feel like you haven't had a drink all day, and that's your first touch of water. And the shade of the forest around you, this sort of deeper darkness you've slowly gone into, it seems to almost lift a little bit for you. You feel more at home in this space than you did before, now that you've consumed this.
Oh, this is better than that readable stuff Brayden gives me.
Yeah, Camellia is like finishing off the brownie you gave her and is like, bold move, tree water.
What?
Well, I'm just like, what? Do you just like drink from any old tree? Is that like what you're into, or what?
No, actually, I don't know why I felt compelled to do that. Usually I just drink from here, and she'll pull out a hip flask.
Oh, and she kind of raise her eyebrows. What do you got in there?
Tequila?
Oof.
Is it like this like public tequila, or is this just like your secret stash?
I have a cup. You're not gonna, do an indirect kiss with me. I know what these things are like. Pull out a little. It's one of those little medicine cups.
Excellent.
She'll pour some out and hand it over.
I would love some tequila right now.
Yes, it'll probably help with the brownie.
We are just gonna absolutely crossfade Camellia. Excellent.
Yeah, rough.
Yeah, she will absolutely take a shot and be like, "Oh,
Bold
that's good
move,
stuff."
accepting drinks from little old ladies.
Yeah, she goes over to the cut stump and she kind of sits on the edge of it. It's many times her width. It's a large, almost like a tableau, a table of sorts, arrayed there in the middle of this clearing. And she sits down and is like, "Whew. So, like, where's your, like, you're looking for your son, your grandson,
I did
yeah."
not give birth to a 15-year-old. It's been a
She's
few
like,
years since I was capable of that.
fair enough. Well, if you want to go looking for him, I can like wait here, hold down the fort. I'm starting to feel like walking maybe isn't my thing today.
I don't even know why we're hanging out.
Well, we were going to talk about the topiaries, right?
Yes, the penis. Topiaries. Yes, it's
Yeah,
giant,
I've been looking for
giant
someone else who could
penis.
help, reflect my artistic visions,
Giant penis. Let's go to sleep, dear. I'll go find my grandson.
Oh, I'm not going to sleep. This place is like perfect for photos. Can you see the lighting in here is incredible.
Now look around. Does the lighting seem incredible from my artistic eye?
I mean, like it's like mood lighting. It could suit a particular photographer for sure.
Hmm. Well, dear, what this area strikes me as something you should be getting back to being one with nature. Just let it all go, take it all off.
Are we encouraging are we drugging and then encouraging Camellia to get naked? Is that what's happening here? I just want to be
Well,
like
I'm not
clear
going to
for the
stick
record.
around for it. I just thought she might like some boudoir photos for her skinny little husband.
Do you know?
Husband or boyfriend?
She said
It's her new husband.
current husband.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Her ex-husband is at least implied to be a pumpkin, which was a fun thing we got to do there.
Yeah. I had questions about those pumpkins.
We all do.
I think all of the husbands that have disappeared have ended up as pumpkins, right?
Who's to say?
That's what I was wondering.
Bill, I think as you make that suggestion to her, you turn off to go and look for your grandson and leave Camellia to her devices there in the grove. Do you continue to march around the Hemlock Grove area, or do you want to go and look around in the forest you were passing through before, the Arboreal Rescue part of it?
I guess I'll go for the Arboreal Rescue.
Okay, so you try to walk out a little bit further, try to get back out. The forest, as we indicated, seems hungry. It doesn't particularly want you to leave. As you try to go out from this innermost ring to a more outer layer of the forest, you are met with obstacles. This is going to be a night move if you're going to try to make your way past this. The path is confusing. The tree branches are all over and in your way. It is, of course, it was kind of darkening as you were heading in, but now actually it seems like it's even darker when you try to head out. So yeah, this is a night move. What are you worried about?
I'm worried that I'm going to be stuck in this stupid forest with that stupid girl who's probably gotten naked by now.
It's worse than that. join potentially many others as fertilizer to these trees.
What? That is a huge jump from being trapped with the naked selfie-taking woman.
Well,
Okay.
it's nighttime, things are crazy.
It is a
You
night
all,
move.
as always, with any move in Brindlewood Bay, once you understand the stakes, you are welcome to not pursue that action. You could hang out in this deepest reach and not try to go back out at all. It's up to you.
You have a -1 for whatever you choose.
She has a
Thanks,
0
frogs.
because there was a +1 and then just now -1, so I canceled it out.
Well, you got a -1.
And a +1.
Yeah.
So I have a 0.
Uh,
Or if you want me
Wow.
to, use it
I've
for
got a
one roll and then
-1.
go to the roll.
What? Who's rolling? I'm confused now.
You are. It's your roll.
You are.
I'm rolling. It's my roll. I need to get to my
Or
grandson.
don't.
I bet I
don't.
need to get to my grandson.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So I'll try and get out. This is really a bad idea. Here we go. -1. What am I
got
rolling?
this.
This is going to be a night move sensitivity, which you are quite good
Okay.
at. And
That's
your
okay.
your sensitivity is currently a 3.
3, that's right, because I'm a
Yep.
child of the forest. Oh, fucking hell. It's a 3 on the dice, and a 3. I've got 6, and a -1 from Trogs. So that's 5. I failed.
Ugh.
I'm fertilizer. Thanks, Trogs.
Yeah. Without crown intervention, here's what happens. Bill, you turn around to retreat. And you start to make your way forwards. The forest seems to close in on you. Like darkness falls. That soft green lighting starts to fade away to darker and darker shadow and blackness. And you can also, like, you're looking down to find the path, and instead you see this variety of footprints leading in every which direction. That dirt path you were following is completely lost to you, and you feel the branches kind of clawing at you, not necessarily actively, but as you try to like wade through them. There are branches where there were none before. There are brambles where they were not previously in your way. And being rebuffed by this, you like take a few steps backwards, and you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you hear Camilla's voice in your ear as a dagger plunges into your chest and your body is pulled back. You will make excellent food indeed. And that's how you die, unless you want to put on a crown and avoid that fate.
I'll put on a crown
no.
and avoid that fate then. God damn, Camilla. What crown do I put on? The crown
Up
of
to
the
you.
queen?
You can either do a crown of the queen or a crown of the void. It's a personal choice. Crowns of the Queen require some kind of scene narration, and Crowns of the Void affect gameplay in various ways. The next one you have is the Pallid Mask, which would mean that during any intimate conversation with another character from now on, you must make a casual reference to death, dying, the afterlife, or the end of all things, no matter the subject at hand.
I mean, I'll do a crown of the queen then.
Okay.
Flashback to one of my memories of a child. Flashback showing how you were an imperfect mother, or a flashback showing you how you're an imperfect sister or daughter. I haven't thought about her appearance at all, so probably how I was an imperfect mother.
Yeah, I'll let you think about your scene. We'll cut away, and then when we come back, we'll get your scene, and then we'll get the new result of what happens.
Okay.
So let's circle
Thanks,
back.
Jason.
I think we're chatting with Muriel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Muriel, you're in the forest now. You're in the arboreal rescue. We've already introduced kind of the hungry nature of this forest. What are you doing? How are you trying to find our missing scouts?
Did you take the amber and the wooden heart with you?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sure did. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm on the right path since I found the scarf.
Mhm.
You know, uh, trying not to think about how long it takes for something to be encased in amber, but we're moving on. Yeah, I think I am on an Easter egg hunt of sorts. I'm looking for these divots in the ground, and I'm digging them up, and I'm finding things. So obviously, you know, I was gifted a shovel. I feel
I
like
love
I
that.
have to keep digging.
I love that Muriel is just playing Animal Crossing.
I am, in fact, playing Animal Crossing. I think it keeps me very focused in a
Yeah.
way where I'm looking at my feet hitting the ground. I'm trying not to focus on the plants around me. I'm here for the dirt, I guess.
Yeah, let's get a medal. I think this either reason or vitality.
Okay. It's gonna be reason.
All right.
It's bad. It's a 4.
It's a 4.
It's about time I failed.
Yeah.
As long as you don't fucking stab me.
Well, although we are in night move territory, my reactions on missed metals are slightly different. Instead, you go down to start digging, and I think you do feel something. There's some hardness, some depth to that soil, and you wedge your trowel under it, and you pry it up. And before you really get a good look at it, you almost instinctively, because you feel this air pressure along one side of your face, you almost instinctively rear back as a large black raven flies in front of you
Ah.
and grabs whatever it was that you were digging out of the earth and carries it aloft into the trees. You, with a start, turn to look up and see it. And above you, in one of the trees, clutching in its claws something, but it's kind of hidden in the branches, is a large black raven, and it is eyeing you suspiciously.
Hey! That's not yours! A fair argument. It's not mine either. I want to try to startle the crow, the raven,
Mhm.
by blowing into the heart.
Okay. Are you trying to produce just a note with this, or are you trying to produce some kind of potentially magical effect?
Ooh.
Because if it's the one, then I would say this is just a night move because it's just you trying to overcome an obstacle. If it's the latter, then we haven't really used this yet, but Brindlewood Bay has this idea of the occult move, where you can establish new magical things and how they work if you are successful.
Can I metally as a player choose the magic one without
Yeah.
Muriel thinking I'm going to catch it?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't think
Yep.
that would come to Muriel, but I like the idea of this being a Pied Piper pipe of the forest, if this works.
Excellent.
What do you need me to roll? I
So
imagine
the occult move,
sensitivity.
which we haven't read off before, so I'll read it off real quick. When you
Mhm.
engage in an activity related to the supernatural or the occult for the first time, imagine what your actions would look like as a move. Say what triggers the move and roll with sensitivity. And then on a hit, it works. We add the move to the game, and now everybody can use it. On a 7 to
Wow.
9, you also must mark a Crown of the Void. And on a miss,
Cool.
it's not something that the Mavens can ever do, and you must also mark the Crown of the Void.
Ah, exciting. I dropped all of my dice though.
Perfect.
No.
Great. I spent a lot of my time during the last scene calculating what my stats should be, and I actually have a +1 in sensitivity now,
Heck yeah.
which is great. So I'm going to roll that +1. Let's go. 10 on the dice +1, 11.
Hey, so
Yay.
this just works, and this is now a move that anyone can use. So the trigger is when you blow into the wooden heart. Then, so describe for me a little bit more of the effect you're imagining here.
This is. Can I name this thing?
Yeah, totally.
I think I would call it Poe's Heart.
Mm.
Yeah.
It quells the ravens, and it works. I was so busy thinking about that. What did you just ask me?
Uh, what are you imagining the effect of this is like? What does this move do so much?
I think yes, blow into it. It plays a like discordant melody, which is weird because I'm not manipulating the aortas.
Hmm.
But I think that raven comes down from the tree and like stands in front of me, and then there's a fluttering, and I look up and there's ravens in the trees, just like sitting and staring, and they're all just kind of waiting for me to do what's next, and I don't know what that is.
So I'm going to tweak this slightly because
Yep,
this raven serves a little bit of other purposes for me, but I really
sure.
like where this is going. I think this raven, you blow into this trying to startle it, and instead this like unprompted discordant melody rings out. And as it does so, this raven seems like just kind of cocks its head to the side and kind of like leans down its beak momentarily, preens a feather, and is just kind of watching you very curiously. And then you hear the beating of wings, and then you see the clusters of black as dozens of ravens descend to that same tree that this other raven is currently perched in, and it kind of like looks around nervously as all of them are looking between it and
Oh,
you.
I put my hand out.
Do you have brownie?
No, I've tried to go to bird that I failed to
Uh,
roll on, which is
you know,
pressing my luck.
we are now threatening this bird with other birds. Do the
I
success of this
am
occult move. Uh, we're gonna revisit the metal
cool.
move here. And I think you have a let's do a +1 forward riding from
Okay,
your bird army you've amassed. uh, and this is with presence. I think you're convincing them to do this for you.
okay. 8 on the dice plus 3 presents.
Ooh, that's a
3 with your
clean
+1.
clean
Yeah.
11. Yeah. You hold out your hand, and the large raven clutching this item kind of like sort of like cackles nervously, and then gently sort of like hops off, glides down on its wings, plops in your hand uh, an item we're about to get to, and then immediately flutters off to a distant tree. You sense that its gaze has not left you,
Mhm.
but it has certainly given you a little bit more distance now. What it has dropped in your hand is a gnarled wooden dagger carved with a hilt shaped like the stamen of a peace lily.
Wow.
Was it the one that was going to kill me?
Who's to say?
A what lily? What kind of
A
lily did you
peace
say?
lily. A peace lily.
Oh,
A gnarled wooden
I am
dagger
just
carved with a hilt shaped like the stamen of a peace lily.
I am a collector today.
Truly.
Ah.
Very good, thank you so much. I'm glad we could come to an arrangement.
Yeah. When the other raven flies off, all the other ravens you've summoned are just like they're just like rejoicing at your success.
I joined in as the camera fades from me.
Oh gosh. Oh.
I've become the bird.
Meanwhile, in the nursery, you are before all these pumpkins. Your sleeping beauty has fallen asleep in the hallway. What are you up to, Muriel? You went to smack one of these, right? That's what happened.
Sunny.
Sorry,
I'm
sorry,
Muriel.
Sunny. Sunny, you went to smack one of these, right?
Yeah.
And then we had a mixed success, if I recall correctly.
But I used the crown of the canopy.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's right. We'll get the one last scene from you here, and then we'll carry on with the scene at present. The crown scene. What do you got for us?
Oh, it was because I believe the crown of the canopy was
Oh, yeah.
the flower for the
So,
garden.
right, but did you already answer your Crown of the Queen you put on before that?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll just carry on then. So you slap the pumpkin and you feel as your like hand touches it that the texture of the surface of this pumpkin is not that sort of waxy finish that pumpkins usually have. Instead, it is like softer, warmer, much more like human skin. It's still like orange in color though, and it's got like that sort of glossy finish, but it does feel a little bit wrong. But these pumpkins do not, join in a discordant chorus of voices or anything like that.
Good.
They're
Be
just really
our
weird,
guest.
creepy ass pumpkins.
Yeah, they don't feel like pumpkins. How many pumpkins are there?
There's like I don't know, couple dozen probably.
It's a lot of examples.
Are they? I mean, 5 daughters. Is it mixed genders?
For the
Like the
scouting troop?
faces? Well, okay,
Or
so there's
for
about a dozen.
oh the pumpkins? It's tough to
Yeah, there's a couple
tell. You don't like
dozen.
have all you have are like the shape of the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Like you could make some generalizations, but they'd be hazy at best.
Okay, is there any way to tell like age at all?
They are faces on the sides of pumpkins. I think the signs we usually use to
Okay.
determine age are things like lines and wrinkles and that sort of thing, and it looks like a pumpkin.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're going based on like how much horror have these eyes seen, so much horror. These eyes have seen so much horror, all of them.
I'm just kind of curious, like, are these pumpkins the scouts? Are these pumpkins X's or whatever?
Now we know that in our game of Brindlewood Bay, we don't answer questions like that till we theorize.
Mhm.
And that's true, but I was just playing Monster of the Week 4 hours ago. Okay. Sunny is going to take out her flip phone and attempt to take a picture
Yeah,
of
totally.
these pumpkins.
They're not Amish. They don't like dodge the camera or anything.
I know, but Sunny is not proficient with technology at all.
Fair. It takes Sunny a minute to get it all going, but
Yeah. But I will take a picture, save it for later, and
you still have the bucket there on the ground if you want to toss it on Hyacinth. Or no, you're talking to Rosehip.
yes. What did she fall asleep on, a bench?
Yeah, just like bench. This is like a maybe not the specific place she let you into, but like this is like a publicly walkable area of the grounds. There are benches.
I feel like enough time has passed that I should regroup with my other grandmothers. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm gonna give Muriel a call.
Cell service is tough, but you're welcome to try. It will be, I mean, since one of you is in the forest, it will be a night move.
Okay.
What are you worried is going to happen?
If like the call fails.
Yeah. What are you worried? I mean, maybe all you're worried about is the call might not go through. But I will tell you how it's worse than that.
I'm afraid that we're going to continue to be split up because we had said that we were going to meet back up at the Fried Nettles, and I'm just worried if something happened to them, and if I go back to the Fried Nettles and I have to walk all the way back, and the arthritis in my bones, I really can't handle all this walking back and forth.
Yeah, I think that it's worse than that is somebody other than Muriel will answer the phone for her and try to lead you somewhere else.
Great. Love that.
So
Are you to roll?
Yeah, if you want to. It's a night move. This is going to be composure.
Sure. Do I have anything?
You have
I see.
a -1 from Dixon.
And you have a
Thanks,
1 to
Dixon.
composure, so that makes it a 0. So you're just
Mhm.
rolling flat on this. Let's see what happens.
You got it.
Let's try some new dice. How about that?
Yeah, I should try different dice.
It's a 5.
Hey,
Ooh,
what a
we're
great,
crushing it.
fantastic number. Yeah, you call. You hear it. It rings once. It rings twice. It rings 3 times. That's not too suspicious because you know that Muriel can sometimes be a little bit slow on like figuring out which pocket the phone's in and getting it out and all of those things that have to happen before you can answer it. It rings a 4th time, and then just before the 5th, you hear a click, and it's silent on the other line for a second, and then you hear, "Hello, is is that you, Sonny dear?"
Yep, Muriel, I'm wondering, well, are we meeting up at the Nettles or should we be meeting up somewhere else?
Oh, we're meeting up in the forest, dear. The Nettles man moved his stand.
Oh, into the forest.
Yeah, there's more nettles here.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Um, anywhere in particular in the forest I should meet you besides just the forest?
All the paths seem to come together. I'm sure we'll meet up together at the end.
Okay, have you seen Bill? Is Bill
Not
with you?
yet, but I think I hear her. And you
Oh, okay,
actually
good.
hear softly in the distance on the line. What's the name of your grandson again? I've forgotten it.
Brayden.
Yeah, you hear like Brayden.
Okay, I'm coming to you, dear. I'll be there in a couple of minutes.
And like you start bringing the phone down from your ear, and you hear like a perfect. And like as you go to press the end button, we as the audience just hear perfect, and then you hit end.
Neat. Right.
Do you head up to the forest?
Yeah, I go to the forest. That's where Muriel
heck
said
yeah.
I should
Wonderful.
go. Can I ask before we
Hey.
switch to someone else? Is there a condition that I need? Because I had those 2 crowns. Or am I good with these 2 conditions I currently have?
I'm happy
wanna make
with the
sure.
miss that just took you. I don't think we have any other condition to grant you right now. We could give you some spooky stuff, but
No, it's
More
okay.
butterflies.
I'm happy with the ones we have.
No, that's okay. Okay, I just
Thank you
wanted to
for
make sure.
asking, though.
Yeah, I'm a rules lawyer. What can I say?
I want to hear your
Um,
Muriel voice.
The 2 of you, or I said the 3 of you now are all in the forest. Let's pick up with Bill because we decided to bump that roll. What's the scene you want to narrate? And we'll do that, and then we'll drop into a scene after that.
I'll say it's a flashback to when Bill was still a medical typist. So she has the headphones on and taking with the dictation machine with the foot pedals and tap, tap, tapping away. And all the while, the little her daughter, whose name I now have completely forgotten, Freya, is trying to get her attention, but she keeps saying, "Oh, not need it, dear. Mummy's got to work. Mummy's got to work." And so Freya goes off and decides to try cooking for herself and burns the kitchen down.
Whoa.
It isn't until everything's caught fire that Bill actually notices because the headphones for the dictation.
And is Bill pretty upset about this? And like is upset with Freya, or is there a degree of like introspection from Bill at the time, like, oh, maybe I should have been paying attention a little bit more?
Yeah, and I think that's probably the point when Bill stops that job and goes and gets a proper 9 to 3 teaching. I say proper 9 to 3 teaching, but takes on more daytime hours at
Yeah.
teaching art.
Love that. So instead, Bill, when you go to leave this area, and you hear the voice of Camilla kind of fall away behind you. It does kind of grow darker. It does kind of feel harder to find the path. Um, and there are all manner of branches and brambles that array themselves before you, trying to bar your way. But Bill, you are someone who is not easily swayed. Certainly not when you are looking for your grandson right now.
Raiders!
So I think you just march through them, and actually invoking your conditioned child of the forest in a different way, a sort of positive way here. As you like kind of make your will known and you push these branches out of your way, the trees kind of like respond and they do retreat just a little bit. The path is still hard to find, but the trees are not the thing blocking you anymore. You are able to push into the other layer, back into the first layer, and are able to continue looking for your grandson. So what do you do along those lines? Do you just continue to call for him? Is there any signs you're looking for? Kind of what's your angle of attack?
I mean, all she really has to go on at this point is where she was. She was told where they had been camping the night before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where she's heading.
Okay. Or
While
trying to make your
calling
best
up
way there.
Brayden and trying to text him messages or whatever.
That's
Angry
not the
emoji. Where
easiest.
the fuck WTF are you?
Not the easiest way to find. You do have a map. You could use that from your cozy place to get advantage, and then we could do a night move.
Okay. I got all the rolls.
What are you worried about?
What am I worried about? I'm worried about that she might never find Brayden. He might have gone the way that her daughter, his mother, had. But then she might also be afraid, what if she does find Brayden? But it's bad. Like he's a pumpkin person.
I think the how it's worse than that is you won't find him or any of the other mavens again.
I lose everyone, or do I
Yeah.
get lost?
Well, that's the stakes, I would say. That's what could happen.
You got
Yeah.
this.
And I use the mat
You
to
got
get advantage.
Yep. So
You
you
do
have
have a plus
advantage,
1.
and then you have a +1 from chat.
I got +2 from chat.
And this is
Balloons.
this is composure. Also, we have a hydrate in the chat. Hydrate or dihydrate.
We already done that one, David. You're behind.
You've been
Cha-cha.
talking. You're fine. You're busy.
I've got scenes to do.
Fair enough. Composure, did you say? And what's advantage? Is it roll twice or is it roll 3?
So it's roll 3, take the higher 2.
Okay. And I got +2 from the audience and +1 from me.
Yeah, you said let's hear
Even
your
on the dice.
best Muriel,
plus-
and I just realized that I did not even attempt to do the sort of raspiness of Muriel. So Sunny just buying that is very funny, actually.
That's very good.
Sorry, go ahead.
10 total.
10. Excellent. Yeah. You consult your map, you know roughly where you're trying to go, and you start just marching that way. The trees kind of like give way before you, actually, and you see or hear first and then see a cluster of wings, of black wings, over in some trees near you. You think that those might have gathered around. The worried part of you is like, what if something has happened and these carrion birds are here to get some carrion? So you immediately start heading that direction. And instead of finding anyone deceased there, you run across Muriel, who is beneath this pile of crows, all floating above in the trees. Muriel and Bill, you two are reunited here. What do you first say to each other?
What's up with the birds?
No, they're fine. Don't worry about them. They're with me.
You're supposed to. Interesting. Okay, never mind.
Hey, what color is Brayden's bandana?
Well, I know he's the biggest beaver, but I
Yeah.
don't think that really is. So, I don't know, red.
I found this. And I take out the amber encrusted bandana.
What?
I don't think it was Braden's, but I think we're on the right track.
What is it doing in Amber?
I
How?
don't know.
Is this going to be a Jurassic Park thing?
I sure hope not.
Are we going to bring back the
Jeez.
beavers?
Mm.
In the background, you hear the soft brass music.
You, seen Sonny?
No. I've met
You seen
some
anyone?
mulch lady who was
Oh,
probably getting naked right now, but
weird. Which
she ate a
mulch did you
brownie.
meet?
It's named after a plant, a flower.
Hyacinth?
No, I think it was camellia, camellia, or I don't know.
Not that one
Trying to
called Hyacinth. She's
oh,
real
okay.
creepy. She disappeared.
Oh,
Whoa, things are happening to my voice.
well water then. Would you like a drink? Like my hip flask, the little medicine cup.
No, I'm okay. Thank you so much.
That's okay.
I guess we should try to find Sonny. We can meet up and figure out what we've all found.
And Bill, you know that you're actually pretty close right now to the site where the kids were supposed to be camping.
Let's go check the campsite out first before we go back to Ned's.
Yeah, she'll find us.
With that in mind, I want to cut quickly to Sunny. Sunny, you've made your way into the forest, and I think you're feeling just like a little bit lost at first, and then you hear a soft voice on the path beside you. You looking for anything in particular?
Oh, I'm looking to see who is this.
Yeah, you see a young girl, maybe like 4 feet tall. She's in. Let me get my description.
Oh, it's very short.
Yeah, she's a child. She
Oh,
has
yeah.
dark, shortcut hair. She has like almost lilac skin. You're not sure if it's just like the trick of the light here in the forest, or if maybe it's like face paint or skin paint or something, or something else. She has like yellow gold eyes. She only blinks when you do. You catch like the barest glimpse of her eyes opening and closing as you do yours. But she stands next to you,
okay?
and she's wearing like a simple sort of like black uniform, and she's got a name badge that for the mulch gardens, and it says Iris Mulch, but it says it in like kind of cutesy childlike letters, like she cobbled together this badge herself. You look lost.
I love your name.
Thank you.
You know, that's my middle name as well.
Really? Mulch?
Yeah. Nope. Your first name is my middle name.
Oh. Are we related?
I don't
Yeah, that's
believe
what it
so.
is.
Not unless. Never mind. What are you doing out here all by yourself?
Tending.
Well, have you seen 2 other women my age wandering around?
Yeah, they're over there.
Turn and like look. Do I see them?
You don't see them, but she seems pretty confident in the direction she's pointing.
Okay. Well, it was wonderful to meet you, Iris. Would you like a brownie?
Do you want me to?
Okay.
Wait.
She's allergic to macadamia nuts. She can't have any.
I'm not supposed to have chocolate this time of day. It'll keep me up at nap time.
How have you seen, besides the old women that look like me, have you seen some boys? About 12 of them to be exact.
Let's
Were supposed to be camping out here last
get
night.
a medal with presents. Yeah.
Get a
Okay.
+1 from the audience.
Aw, thanks, Lauren.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
11, 12, 13.
Woo-wee!
When we needed it most.
Here, have a brownie. No.
No.
Uh,
I
okay.
played my previous game I played earlier. I was the mundane and couldn't do a dang thing. But now I'm an
We're-
old woman, so I can't do anything either, though.
We're gonna get a couple of clues in rapid succession here, which is gonna be fun because
Heck
you get
yeah.
a clue and a void clue.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
Iris reaches up to grab your hand, and she tugs you a little bit off the path you're currently on, and she says, "Just this one." And you see in the crook of some roots of one of these trees, kind of like huddled up, shivering slightly, is a young busy beaver. They do not look up at you. They don't know if you don't even know if they heard you, the two of you approach. But this is a lone busy beaver scout, and they are silent and shaking here beneath this tree.
Oh my goodness! And I'm gonna run to him and try to get him out.
Yeah, they like don't seem to respond to you. They're just kind of sitting here, fetal position, unmoving.
Can I pull them out or
Yeah, totally.
try to get them out?
They'll kind of follow you.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm here to help. I'm friends with your fellow the biggest beaver, Brandon.
Right.
Need a fire. Need wood.
I have some Tabasco sauce that could warm you up.
Iris looks up. That could work.
Give him the brownie.
No. Naughty.
I'm guessing I have some sort of cardigan or something. Can I put it on him?
Yeah, totally.
Keep him warm. And then I
Yeah,
want to like
They shiver a
take
little bit
his
less,
hand.
but I think the shivering is less due to the temperature and more, stress, adrenaline sort of things.
But the
Yeah,
old
I'm
lady
s-
smell might, make him feel like he's with his grandma, and that might help, right?
Is there if he's because you said he was a busy beaver.
I mean, they are a busy beaver. They're dressed. They are dressed in scouts' clothes. They got their
Okay.
brown vest with significantly fewer badges than
Yeah.
Top Beaver has.
I don't remember when I was in Girl Scouts and my brother was in Boy Scouts. Did they have names? Like little name tags?
They
Like
probably.
sewed into their thing?
I don't think they do. You'd have to like ask him for
Okay.
his name, and he's not the most
Okay.
forthcoming right now.
I'm just gonna like pat his shoulders and like warm him up with some friction and like tuck him in close.
Yeah, I'm actually going to give you your void clue now as well. When you took
Yes.
off that shawl, you actually exposed your own arms, and you notice that your skin is growing bark. And a little added detail I'll add to that void clue is it's specifically it seems to have started along the arm that Iris is holding your hand of. We'll just add that for flavor.
I'm just gonna take my hand back from you, Iris, because I really think that this young man needs the warmth of my body. And I'm just gonna like
Aren't you looking for
Cat, don't do that.
friends?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I'm looking for my other friends and any other boys that look like this one right here. Can you point me to them? It's very important.
Point.
Yeah, just follow the ravens.
The ravens. I'm gonna like look. Are there ravens?
I don't think they ever stopped gathering from when when Muriel blew on the heart. As far as the sound carried, some were close by and arrived immediately. Others are still on their way, and so you can see there's like a few ravens flitting about through the trees, flying towards a particular direction.
Okay, I guess we're gonna follow the ravens. I mean, I think Muriel trusts the ravens. She's mentioned something about ravens in the past. Okay, come on, young
Yeah.
boy.
Iris will like put up one of her arms and wave to you as you start to walk that way and just say, "Have fun! Just be careful. Grandma says I'm gonna have a little sister soon."
They're hags.
Grandma says I'm gonna have a little sister soon.
They're hags.
And this is not technically a quote. This is just one of Iris's, not technically a clue. It's just one of Iris's quotes. But you could maybe integrate it if you so choose.
My grandma says I'm gonna have a little sister soon.
That's right. It's just Iris just has a collection of ominous things she can say, and that's one of them.
Cool.
That's nice, dear. And then I'm gonna hurry the heck away from her with the boy and like glance at my arm, but try to ignore it. Is the bark receding? Is it there?
I mean, it's a void clue. You've got bark on your arms right now until something is done
Neat.
about that.
Cool. Bill.
we
Brandon.
we see you
Brayden!
pulling along this
Murray!
semi-comatose child rushing through the forest, and slowly our cameras come together as now we have Bill and we have Muriel who have headed off to the campsite or where they think the campsite to be, and then you hear in the distance at first, and then getting closer, Sunny yelling your names, following the
Bill!
ravens.
Muriel! Oh God!
Bill, I think she ate too many brownies.
I mean, I guess I
Hello?
would have worked out which brownies that I actually have, if that's the case.
Bill, wait, that's a kid. She's got a kid.
Muriel! Oh my God!
it got a
Thank
kid?
God you're here. Is this your grandson?
Oh my god. That's a great question, Bill. Is this your
Is
grandson?
it Brayden?
It's not Brayden.
No, it's not. And then I'll grab
Are
the
you
kid by the
sure?
shoulders and shake him. Where's
Be
Brayden?
careful! Be careful! No, he's still in a lot of shock, and I think
His
I
head's
might
going like
do
this.
Yeah, his head is like it's on a bobblehead, just like.
Where's
Do you-
Brayden?
I found him in a tree. Do we have something we can make a fire or something warm? He's very cold.
Here, kid, play
Here,
with this
kid.
lighter.
I pull out the flask and the medicine cup again.
Oh, hold on.
Pour it in there and
He's
give
a
offer it to
Bill.
the
He's a
kid.
child.
And
Is he wearing an ascot?
Yeah.
Okay.
is it red?
Yeah, it's a red ascot. That's
Okay,
the
so-
traditional color for the busy beavers. It's only once you've graduated to brilliant beaver of the tiering that you get
There's
your
big, best,
Well,
and brilliant beaver.
Okay. So
Beaver.
I do actually have a system here. So biggest beaver is
Ah.
just kind of like a lead among the troop, right? So he's like literally the
Sure.
oldest beaver is the biggest beaver, and then they're all currently busy beavers. The next rank up is brilliant beaver, and how you become a brilliant beaver is you do all the stuff that we're doing today. You collect a certain number of badges, etc. And then when you become a brilliant beaver, you get a different colored ascot. I haven't decided what the color is yet. Maybe like blue,
Chartreuse.
chartreuse, purple. And then eventually, if you are like a scoutmaster, then you become top beaver. And then whoever organizes the scoutmasters is the boss beaver. And so the system continues.
Thank you so much. This is the
They
lore I
shouldn't-
crave.
Shouldn't have put Kiana in charge of boss beaver. Could I do a maiden move?
What are you thinking?
I have the MacGyver move. When I improvise in a situation using whatever is at hand, ask the other players and keeper to name 3 objects you find in the environment, so long as you can give a plausible explanation for how one or more of these 3 objects will help you in an action. You can have advantage on a single roll related to that action. Essentially,
Yeah.
I want to start a fire.
You
A
can
controlled
absolutely MacGyver a fire here.
Heck yeah.
Have a lighter. That's gonna
then-
be a significant help.
Muriel, you're old. If you want to doze off, we could also use your Dale Cooper and give you a void clue.
I
Oh.
I noticed a little while ago that we didn't do a dream at the beginning, and that's on me.
Yeah.
But I'm very down to doze off and while the ravens watch over me.
Well, it's going to take a while while Muriel, or no, while Sunny here is your Muriel. While
Mhm.
Sunny is MacGyvering a fire together.
Mhm.
So,
So we have a lighter.
yeah.
I got a lighter.
What else?
Yes. Two other
Um,
things.
I think you've got a roll of toilet paper.
Oh heck yeah!
I
That'll
don't
help
leave home
with
without it.
the
Mm-hmm.
kindling.
You never know when something strikes.
What else
Sero,
do you think?
I need
Sarah,
another object.
anything else?
Oh, for some reason, I would say that maybe Bill has a whole lot of popsicle sticks.
I like
I
that.
mean, a lot because she crafts.
Yeah, the googly eyes and stuff.
Yeah, so she pulls out packets of popsicle sticks.
What would you want me to roll, David?
I mean, this is. We're still in the forest, so it is a night move. But it's a night move. This would be with probably composure.
Oh heck yeah. Okay, cool.
I could also see reason. You're like kind of MacGyver feels like it could be either.
Okay, and I both are the same number. So
before you roll, what are you worried will happen?
yes. I'm gonna set this child on fire.
Oh,
Child on
not
Oh,
before.
we're starting at a different place than I
How
thought.
do you make that worse,
Yeah.
David? Tell me how it's worse.
It's worse. Well, first, Miah, is that what's happening? As you're worried about, or are you worried about something else?
I think I'm worried
Oh,
about
whew.
Iris, like having had followed me and like reappearing, and I feel like lighting a fire in this forest might not be appreciated.
I think how
Should
it's
be
worse than
frowned
that.
upon.
The whole Mulch family will find you here.
Oh,
Okay, this is fine.
Roll good.
I do see I have a +1
Yes,
in
you do.
chat.
Heck yeah.
I didn't like the face.
9.
That's a big
Hey,
success.
nice.
Yeah,
I rolled a 1 and a 6.
you make a
Woo.
fire.
Yeah.
You MacGyver this together. The flames begin to lick softly from your little pile of toilet paper and popsicle sticks. You light with your lighter. Actually, this is a pretty quick fire to put together, to be honest. You had a lighter as one of your starting items.
Yeah, that's what was it, Bill? No, Muriel had.
Yeah, you grab some dry branches from the ground. You start to build it up into something bigger.
My grandson showed me how to build this. He's an Eagle Scout.
I think it's just as much. Well, first off, the first real words you hear uttered from this kid, apart from them being cold and needing to build a fire, is like, "What's an Eagle Scout?" Because we live in a world with busy beavers. Excuse me very much. There are no Eagle Scouts here. I don't know what
Oh, it's
nonsense.
a West Coast thing. Don't worry,
yeah.
dear.
Fair enough.
They're not predators of beavers at all.
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but now I'm wondering. Is there a scouting pecking order nationally? Who's to say?
Mhm.
Do they hunt each
where's
other for
my
sport?
grandson?
But I think as much as you making the fire, it's you kind of casually talking to him that eventually kind of soothes whatever is going on for this poor busy beaver who's had a heck of a day. I think the complication here is you start to ask him various questions. We're going to give him a name. Let's call him Timothy, little Tim, little Timmy. And
Yeah.
Timmy here doesn't really remember anything. That's the complication. They came into the forest. They started to set up camp, and then they remember like waking up terrified in the roots of that tree, and that's the entire last 24 hours for them.
Okay.
Well, take us to where you made camp then.
I don't remember. It was we. Do you have a map?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
All
when you
three of
showed
us
up,
stick out our maps.
it looks at it, it's like that's not a map. That's a trail. It's for the. You need like a proper topographical map. They taught us how to read them.
Does he have like a backpack or like I'm wondering, does he have anything on him?
He
Yeah,
does. You know what?
pockets.
I will let you meddle and go through his things, and you might find something of interest.
Okay.
This is going to be presence. I think you're convincing him to let you rifle through his things.
Yes. That's gonna be 11.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. You've done a lot for him. He's feeling a lot better. He gives you his bag. He doesn't even think about it. Inside of his bag, I know the exact item I want to give you here. You find a Busy Beaver scouting manual. And I think for our convenience here, it does have wedged in it like a topographical map of the area, one that was given out to all of the Busy Beavers for their forestry today. But the other interesting thing about this scouting manual is that aside from on the cover where it says like, Busy Beaver scouting manual in big letters, when you crack it open and look inside, every sentence has been replaced with the words "get out."
Oh.
How did that happen?
Like printed or written over?
Yeah.
Like printed. Like this is what this
Yeah.
book says now,
I'll work
or
no
always
play.
has. Who's to say?
Is that a clue?
It's a clue. That's a
Sorry, I
normal
keep
clue.
asking.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's good to ask. Speaking of clues, I think you now have the map is not a clue. That's just something that you can use for your narrative convenience. I think we have enough clues to probably push for theorize, and since we're on a timeline here, probably good to kick that off. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Let me redo my math.
I have 9
A
written.
lot.
Well, void
I've got
clues.
8.
You can also use void clues. We are doing a one shot, and my rule for that is always you can
Yeah.
integrate them.
I have 2 void and 9.
And 7. Yeah.
Oh, we're
Well, you have
supposed
9
to
no,
do
no, no.
this with 3 and share?
Yeah, well, I think what you said
I'll read
wasn't quite.
I'll read the clues
Yeah,
off. I have a wooden heart, anatomically correct, buried. A gnarled wooden dagger carved with a hilt shaped like the stamen of a peace lily. Busy Beaver's bandana encased in amber. A lone Busy Beaver scout, silent and shaking, little Tim. A pumpkin with a human face. No littering or loitering or else. A Busy Beaver scouting manual, but every sentence is replaced with "get out." A ring of trees with a perfectly level stump in the middle. Those are the clues I have jotted down. And then
that was 8, right?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, that is 8. My math is bad.
The only other one isn't a real clue. It's what Iris said.
Okay, yeah.
In Sunny's arms.
Oh, and yeah, then we have the 2 void clues. This Sunny's arms are growing tree bark, and then the fountain in the woods that Bill drank from.
Do you want to do the Dale Cooper void clue for
yeah,
third
let's
and
get that
final?
first. That'll be our last thing before that.
Yeah.
So while a fire is being built and all of that for this poor scout, Muriel, you nod off a little bit while staring off into the woods, or you're not really sure if you nod off or if you're just like experiencing a vision, which is not wholly, outside of the realm of possibility for you. But either way, you're gazing off into this forest, and you tilt your head to the side. You hear the calls of the ravens that you brought with you. They're still up in the trees above you. They seem to be following you for now, at least, waiting for your back and your call. But you hear something else. You too hear a tittering bird in the distance. But this one does not make the sound of bells chiming, or rather, not only that. I think you do hear those big, heavy leaden bells ringing distantly. The sense that it's coming from some small bird throat, like it's like hollower than a real bell, but there's something organic to it, yet it still sounds so similar. And then, as those are ringing, you hear another bird song. This one scratchy and close, and it feels like the bird is singing in the voice of your dearest loved one. Who is that to Muriel?
Deceased husband.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think Abe Puttman you have on your list here.
Abe. Yep.
Wait, so you have your last name is Muriel Puttman, and then his is Abe
Putman,
Puttman.
sorry.
Okay, it would be so funny if a Putterman married a Puttman.
No,
and
that's on me.
unified the two dynastic clans. Like,
Oh my god. There you go.
so
Thank
yeah,
you.
you hear like a lonesome bird song, as if in Abe's voice, adrift on the breeze here in these woods. And then you kind of like start to zero in on it. You focus in on it because like you're trying to know for sure. You're trying to know the truth of something that cannot really be known. Is that Abe's voice you're hearing? He's been gone for years now, and you listen closer and closer, and then you hear in your ear Sonny's voice, "Fire's ready," and you wake with a jolt are back to the scene at the fire in front of you. I think Bill is looking over the topographical map that the scout provided, and the two of them are talking about kind of where to go from here.
Whew, all right, what a miss.
The fire's built.
Start taking out all my physical clues that I have an abundance of.
What
and
were you
setting
going
them
on?
up
A
around the
scavenger
fire so
hunt?
we can. I mean, yeah, kind of.
Sorry, can we go over again the clues? I have the wooden heart, amber, dagger, the lost scout, pumpkin face, the grove.
The amber is not the dagger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the no littering or loitering or else sign.
Is it
Okay.
elf or elf?
Or
Else.
else.
Or
It's like a dramatic. It's like
Yep.
it's like a normal
It's like
no
a
littering or
warning.
loitering sign, but like a warning or else.
Did
Warning
we get the
sign,
threat?
yeah.
And there's the scouting manual with get out in it. Yeah, I think you got most of it there. I think we've laid out the scene. Let's hear what not necessarily in character because that's probably too slow to do it, but let's hear what the mavens think. What do we think is going on here? Let's kick off a theorize with a root theory and build on it.
Since this is Sweeps Week and
Totally.
a void mystery, correct?
Sky is the limit.
So we can theorize supernatural things without hesitation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's Sweeps Week. We
Love
need those ratings.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Root
hags.
theory.
They plant hags. They eat their husbands and spit out more mulches. That's all I got.
I have to share something with you all, but in character as Sunny. Tim is just like warming himself by the fire. She like pats him on the shoulder, like there. Do you want a snack? And Sunny like takes all of these different like snacks that she's brought. Would you like to hear a joke? I've got a great one about a beaver.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure, I guess.
What did the beaver say to the tree? This might be a little bit too close to home, but
Get in the river. I don't know.
no, it's been nice gnawing you. Because beavers gnaw on trees. Gnawing.
I haven't ever not on a tree before.
Well, you're not a real beaver now, are you?
He looks
Ooh.
crestfallen.
Oh.
Okay, now I want to make the busy beavers a cult that turns into beavers.
Oh my god.
Here, have a bag of Cheez-Its.
He looks less crestfallen.
Now
There's nothing
listen.
a bag of Cheez-Its don't fix.
Nope.
What if we
Just
took
tell
this?
Tell the beaver he needs to gnaw on some wood to become a real beaver.
We've all
Now,
sighed.
what if we take this very scary supernatural void mystery? This is just an option, and turn it into something very mundane.
Totally
Zero,
possible.
no fireworks. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is a weird generational mulch family. And
True.
they have all been sipping on this tainted groundwater that's coming out of these trees. And now I'm not
Well,
going
I
to say
had-
no crimes happened here,
I feel like I
but
want.
maybe it is just sickness induced crimes and not supernatural induced crimes.
But what if
If
also,
only.
because
Hmm.
you said it's like generational and like, I don't know, the way that David kind of put stuff out there and the people that we've been meeting, we've never been meeting Mr. Mulch. There's only been women. And
Hmm.
Iris said that, oh, I'll be getting a sister soon. Maybe they have to like sacrifice boys and men.
Maybe they don't
I
like
love
the
all
beaver.
of that. I'm just
And
throwing the theory
maybe,
that they could all be doing it because they've been drinking the dirty
oh, I
water
agree.
instead
Yeah,
of,
we could,
yeah,
we can combine the two, and I don't know,
you
maybe
know?
I could be like the next sister. So he like raises up
Oh!
that has the
See, I'm
bark
just
on
thinking
it.
maybe you have shingles or something. Is it actual bark, or do you just have a rash?
Does it come off? Can you pick at it?
Can we see the bark?
Yeah, you can see the bark.
Okay,
So she's
okay.
not high. Okay.
Okay, the bark does add a fun element to it.
Can we
But
peel
not all
that
clues
off?
have to be integrated. The
That's
bark
true,
growing
that's
here
true.
can be a supernatural thing, unrelated to the natural mystery.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
Maybe she's becoming a green woman.
So true.
I'm an atheist. I don't believe in that stuff.
Green
I
women.
don't know.
I
I
mean,
mean, Iris did touch me on this hand, and then all of a sudden I had this on me.
the
Maybe it's
plants
costume
in
based.
this
do-
whole place have been bountiful, correct? And healthy.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So it
I
could easily
do.
just be a good harvest sacrifice.
Oh, the people, yeah. I mean,
The
I like the path of like maybe they'd been like really taking care of this place or whatever, and someone found some very fertilized way to make the water better, and then somebody decided to drink the water, and then they all went mad.
It's
I
blood
do
and
like the
bone of
mad
the
water
husband.
theory. I like turning the men into mulch theory
Mad
combined,
water.
as it
Literal
does
love.
make it the good plant, apparently. And see, there's a lot of signs of sickness in these ladies. The one I met was very gaunt and unhealthy. You met a pink girl, and that has to be something.
I also
What
met a
about the
very,
You met a
very
very sleepy one
sleepy
who sleeps
woman.
for weeks. See, they're all very ill, it seems like. So
Well, wait, what was
Rosehip was sleepy, Hyacinth was
yeah.
gaunt, Iris was pink.
And Camellia was really into
Violet's turned violet.
Violet and Violet, yeah. What was Camellia really into? Nothing weird. She was just
Yeah,
kind of a little bit
Camellia
like
seems
You
a
were
little
you were the
chill.
weird one in that
Yeah.
interaction, actually.
I
she
think
went
Bill
along
always
with it.
is.
Like,
But you drank the dirty water.
it made everything look better.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have the mad water.
What about the pumpkin people?
I think the pumpkin people is an art experiment
It
by
could
the sick
be
water lady. They
like
weren't talking, they
also
weren't moving. It's art, baby.
it could be like remembrance display too, kind of like the
True.
bushes.
I
There were
agree.
like 24 of them.
I think it's
Yep.
the guilt of these women coming out through their the topiaries and the art within.
I wonder how many males they need in order to make a little sister, because they've just kidnapped like 12 beavers.
Yeah.
It's
What
true.
was the grove clue? Is
Hey,
that
is
the one with
Brayden
the
dead?
Mm, I'll shake
We'll
the little
find
boy
out.
again. Where's Brayden?
I feel like that is partly up to your theory, right? If you're saying they've already
Mhm.
been sacrificed, then sure.
Sure.
Brayden's
But
not dead.
Do the clues have to be bad and negative?
no,
They have to be clues.
they just have to be integrated in your
Yeah.
theory.
Because I wonder if we could twist the ring of trees with the perfectly leveled stump as like a good thing.
I think
So not a
it could be a
sacrificial
good thing.
altar.
Well, I think it is this is what I was thinking, to keep the boys alive for the time being. They are to be sacrificed when that stump blooms. There's a special
Ooh.
time and that stump opens, and not maybe a tree, but maybe like a big gross flower or something comes out of it. And
The
that's what
corpse
signals the start of the
flower.
yeah, the corpse stump, you know.
The hag flower.
And maybe they blow the wooden hearts and they use the wooden knives on the corpse stump to sacrifice the beavers.
Oh, so like the dagger and the wooden heart are part of a ritual?
The
Yeah.
young innocent beavers.
All the ravens come to watch when you blow the hearts. Or yeah, crows, ravens, whatever we call them.
Sorry.
It's got legs. That puts us with the scouts, the dagger, the clearing. I mean, the no loitering sign. That kind of speaks for itself. That it leads to that something bad is happening here, right? Or else.
Yeah,
It's
something is
the
being hidden.
beyond of Bed Bath and Beyond.
Right? Mhm.
So
It's the beyond of Bed Bath and Beyond.
What about the
And
bark?
sorry, it's late for me. I'm
No,
getting goofy.
that just tickled me. I like that.
And the amber encrusted ascot is what do you
Are
call
they
it?
encased in amber?
No, I mean it means it's happened for years. It's the modus operandi, or
oh,
not that.
it's
It's
like a fossil from past rituals.
it shows a pattern, is what I mean.
Are beavers sacrificed yearly? Is
Who
what you're
doesn't
Is
saying?
yearly?
Kiana in on it?
You know?
They have been coming here every year.
The boss
Yeah.
beaver is probably the one in on it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We should get Kiana arrested. Or worse.
Maybe the boss beaver is a mulch.
Maybe
Kiana
Kiana's a mulch.
That rings too well. Kiana
What's
mulch.
Kiana's last name?
Gilbert.
I mean, she
Bridget?
could have
Hyphen
married
mulch.
out of the family.
Maiden or married name?
Who's to say?
I don't want to throw Kiana under the bus. She's been a very useful ally for giving us jobs
Yeah.
every single episode.
So the
Maybe Phil will
amber
throw her under the
is
bus.
The color of your energy.
so the amber signifies that like this has been going on. It's like a
Yeah.
fossil. It's I don't know how you phrase that.
Yeah, it's you know, it's fossilized. But the trees here are wild, so who knows how fast that can happen. But yeah, I think
And
it points towards this has happened before.
Sunny's going to turn into a tree as well.
I hope not.
I don't know what's going
Do you
on with
think-
Sunny. I'm trying to avoid the bark skin clue because it throws everything I have for a loop.
You want to have a thought more? Just kidding.
Is it high racing?
This
With
whole
her
theory
bark
I have
skin.
only uses one void clue, and it's the dirty water tree fountain. But it
I
pretty
mean,
much
they
uses
could be
every other
drinking-
regular clue.
They could be drinking the
mean-
dirty water Kool-Aid at the altar.
So other kind of weird question. Well, but what are words? um
Who knows?
coming
Use
up with
them all.
ideas. Maybe Iris marked Sunny for not death with the bark.
KNOT or NOT?
Wow. Yes.
Because like, I mean, if we're going with like maybe the busy beaver boys,
Mm-hmm. It's a
are
gang.
going to be sacrificed. Sacrificed. Yeah, sacrificed. Yeah, words.
Mhm.
They don't have bark on them, at least that we could tell.
Not that kid. They were in
Look
bark
at
though,
that.
right? They were in trees.
They were
I
like
mean,
under some tree roots. Imagine that scene
yeah.
in Lord of the Rings where they're running from the ring wraiths and they're like hiding underneath the tree
Yeah.
with the stuff. It's like that.
He was
Yeah.
just hiding there, not in. He
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
trapped in there.
Well,
it's like he
I
blacked
depends
out
if
and
you
woke up
you
under a
could
tree.
say he was trapped there. You could say he was hiding
Okay,
there.
okay, okay.
Either's fine.
So true.
Both fit the narrative.
Oh, I guess we also have the lost scout. Or are we saying that he is part of the ritual?
Yeah, like the scouts were kidnapped for the ritual. That's like kind of
Yeah.
the gist.
Okay. Trying
Yeah.
to write this down.
Maybe they just plant people, and all of the plants in the whole garden are the children.
If anything, the fertilizer. That could
Oh,
be the
I
mulchmen
mean,
as well.
yeah, they
Maybe
mulch the males up for fertilizer, but
Yeah,
then the
yeah.
plants themselves are Mrs. Mulch's babies.
I mean, the warning
Right.
side could be the area that they keep the partially decomposed bodies. And the reason the butterflies don't
Mhm.
move is because they've been eating dead bodies. No? Okay,
Maybe.
never mind.
Mm,
I mean, sure.
could
So
fold.
let's settle on consensus on one thing. Are we
Yep.
opting for because we've got kind of two competing theories. One is like there is something supernatural going on here. One is there might be on the periphery, but that's like just a matter of a couple of
Yeah.
void clues. And really, what's going on here is mostly mundane. Just as mundane as criminal murder to feed plants can be. Ritualistic sacrifice because of weird visions from plant water, from tree
Yeah.
water.
And this
Or
rare stump that blooms.
yeah, or
Yeah.
there is like some serious like weird witchy shit happening here, um, with them actually being very magically tied to the land. We must pick a route and then we can nail things down.
Considering it's sweeps week, it's probably the latter.
But what's more exciting than the
Mad
bait and
water.
switch?
Yeah, it is quite a bait and switch for the audience. A bold move
Audience
by a
loves a bait
director.
and switch. I'm gonna vote
Wouldn't
for that one
let
because it was my
down.
idea, obviously.
Whatever
I mean,
one
And it
can
uses
play,
a whole hell of a
Braden
lot of
alive.
clues. That one does keep Brayden alive as well, mind
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Okay,
love living
we'll
Brayden.
go with that one then.
Miah, you on board for that?
For Mad Water, yes.
Mad water.
Because
All
we're
right.
Scooby doing it.
Mad water, bad timing.
So
It's
for the
fun.
mad water theory, I'm just going to go through the clues and make sure we've marked them off. A
Yep.
wooden heart, anatomically correct. We're claiming that that's a ritual artifact that they've created, along with the wooden knives. It's part of their weird cult ritual shit.
Mhm.
As well
Gnarled
as
wooden
the
dagger,
Lost Scout.
same thing. Busy Beaver's bandana encased in amber is just evidence that this has been going on for some time. Lone Busy
Evidence,
Beaver
that's the
Scout,
word.
they were being kidnapped. A pumpkin with a human face, just part of the weird art, evidence of their guilt.
Weird art.
Yep.
The no loitering, or else is they are willing to threaten and also have things to hide. How about the Busy Beaver scouting manual with the get out? Are we integrating that clue,
I
or are
think
we?
Yeah.
I think if it is old, maybe it
It
is
could be.
a product of the bad water.
Interesting. So this was like also made by the Mulch family. That's another sign
Or
of their
a
guilt, or one of the kids drink it.
yeah, I was thinking a kid or a leader just
Oh yeah,
after being trapped in here, you know.
gotcha. Okay, I like that.
Can Can I throw a different idea out
Sure.
there?
Mhm.
What if when because we talked about how when you entered into this forest, like you can't find your way out. There's a bunch of footsteps, almost like blacklight. Like what if like when you open this manual, instead of it saying what it needs to say, it says "get out" and it's a warning. And oh, it'd be kind of cool if all those footsteps were like the spirits of dead people from
Mhm.
here, and they changed the book. That's my 2 cents.
And the funeral bells. It's
Yeah.
all ghosts.
The ghosts
I
are
love
trying
what
to
if
help them.
when it's time for night moves, it says get out. When it's time for day moves, it says how to make a fire.
So
Light it from
so
the
our
wall.
Light it up.
loosely
It says light it up.
our
Get out,
loosely
light up.
spiritual supernatural
Mhm.
bit is there are definitely ghost shit happening here, but it's not actually causing the problems. It's the symptom that is created by the
Ghosts
cult
are the
cult behavior.
victims.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe the ghosts are
Okay.
just trying to help
Yeah. So
the
somebody maybe was
victims. Yeah.
trying to warn these busy beavers. And then the ring of trees with the perfect level stump. That's the sacrificial grounds. That's where the dirty
We
water
know.
is. All that good stuff. And then we're also integrating the void clue. There's a natural fountain. So that brings us to 9 on a complexity 7. We have a +2 then to roll. If
Don't
anybody
make me
wants to
roll
roll
it.
for the
I've got a
theory,
-2.
What is it to
Yep.
roll what?
Not you.
it'll be 2d6. You do not get any benefit. It's just a
Oh,
raw
yeah.
roll plus however many clues you have over the complexity.
You or me, Maya.
Not to sound selfish, but I think you rolled last time.
I'm pretty sure I've rolled most of the time, so yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'm a loud person. You can take the roll.
So it's
Maya,
just straight die.
Don't kill
2d6.
Bill's. Don't kill
2d6.
Bill's grandson,
Don't kill Brandon.
Brayden.
I know what it is.
Do I add anything? I don't add anything to it?
2.
Two.
I do? Okay. 7.
Okay.
Success. Hey, that's a success. That the good news is, and we'll read this from the manual because I always forget the exact wording.
Brayden.
Theorize. 7 to 9. The solution is correct, but the keeper will either add an unwelcome complication to the solution itself, or present a complicated or dangerous opportunity to take down the culprit or save the day. I think I'm going to do the latter. But you know, it's not disappointing. This big finale.
Not killing Brandon?
Brayden.
Well, look. Let's be clear. Until we have a body, it's neither too soon or too late to kill
Mhm.
Brayden. You know, the opportunity always exists.
Schrodinger's Brayden.
Truly.
So true.
But let us
Maybe you
open
could
the box on the
sacrifice
cat
Tim.
and see what is inside. The 4 of you, because it's the 3 of you mavens plus this. Question for the group:
Tim.
do we take
Tim.
Tim to our ultimate confrontation, or do we like? I guess the alternative is leave him in the woods alone, which is
Yeah, not that one.
Yeah.
Sonny, are you okay to stay with Tim?
Is
Like,
she leaving
obviously, we're all
behind?
together, but you're in charge of Tim.
Oh, yeah.
You found the
Sure.
boy. Okay.
Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
You-
I just keep feeding him Cheez-Its.
It's your responsibility there.
That's all you got to do.
Cheez-Its and milk.
Perfect. So the
Milk
4 of
on
you head towards where you think the camp should be, and as you do so, Bill, you start to feel a strange pulling. You've of course also drunk the funky water, and
And the tequila.
the
And ate the
tequila.
brownies.
You got a lot going on inside of you right now. But Bill, you make your way to where the campsite was, and there's not a lot to notice there. Like you all run across the remnants of a small fire. The signs, like there's maybe like an empty pack or two littered about. The signs of not really any sign of struggle, but the sign of a camp that has now been cleared out. And at first you think that maybe this is a dead end, but then Bill, you feel this tugging, this pulling, and you gaze off deeper in the woods, and you know that that is where the hemlock grove is, and you know that that is where the flower is set to bloom.
Is that where Brayden is?
Well, based on your theory, you think that people are going to be sacrificed at this altar when the flower blooms. So I think if these kiddos are on the chopping block, that's where they'll be.
Wow, thank you. Chopping block.
That is the stakes that you all established. I'm just saying.
True. I wonder where they've been keeping them this whole time.
Not the metagame. So, Muriel, I noticed that you have a bundle of fireworks on you.
Yes, I saw that too.
What are you, a cop?
No, I technically have fireworks on me too, and so he takes out the poppers.
Why am I the only one without fireworks?
Because I
We're
think
just
we're
doing
the
this
two
bag
that
from
went
July
off.
4th.
Oh yeah,
This is
yeah,
my
yeah.
going out bag.
Yes.
Ah,
That's why.
I've just got brownies and googly eyes and popsicle sticks and a flask.
What sort of commotion are you thinking?
I don't know. I was just suggesting we use the fireworks.
Just in general? Do you want to celebrate something?
I think she should get the boy to do the fireworks as a distraction, like aim it at trees or something, and then we'll sneak in.
Oh my god, kid, give me my lighter. Sorry.
His name is Tim.
That's what I said.
It's okay. You can call me kid. I know you're not talking to anyone else here.
Yeah, see, he gets it.
He's a
Why
kid.
don't... Listen, if that thing's gonna bloom and they're gonna do their thing, we should probably just jam the fireworks into the bloom and
Oh,
destroy the altar so they can't keep doing it.
I can do that. I can do that.
But watch out in case like a big plant monster comes out of it.
I can
Do
feel.
you remember when I drove that drove the scooter through the demon goat with a knife?
Yeah, that
Could
was.
be another one of those situations.
I mean,
And I
don't
have
know
a
how
knife
this could
again.
get-
It's
I
made
don't
out of
know.
wood, but I've got one.
I don't know if this could make anything worse because I'm just becoming of wood.
And I think you should put the fireworks in there.
Vengeance.
yeah.
You have
Should
blast
we go
shielding.
and distract them then, Muriel? And Sonny can sneak around the back and pull.
You can have
Yeah.
my poppers. Pretend that they're guns, like gunshots.
Maybe.
Only Roman
Tim.
candles. We could fire them at people.
Yeah.
Oh,
We should probably hide you somewhere.
I was pretty comfortable under those roots.
I don't want to put you back under the roots.
Yeah, I feel like a tree's the wrong place in this forest. Can I conjure just a bench? There's a lot of benches in this place,
Oh.
right?
You seek to conjure a bench. I have something even better for you if we just need to
You
conveniently
seek to
get Tim out of
conjure
the
a
way.
bench.
You
Yeah, thanks.
we don't even need to roll for this because this is just too good not to do. You hear the familiar tinkling bell on top of a cart being wheeled through the trees
Yes.
as approaching along the path near where this campsite was. You see the Ned of Ned Nettles pushing along his cart, collecting from some of the trees as he goes some nettles to fry up for Ned's nettles.
And we know Ned. Ned is trustworthy.
Yeah.
Known Ned for years. Oh, good, Ned. We're so hungry. I'm so glad you're here. This is exactly what we need.
Oh, I've got all sorts of nettles here. I've got these ones are freshly fried. These
I know
ones are
Ned from
baked.
Temple.
And these ones, you just crunch on them, they get stuck in your teeth in a real pleasant way.
have a
Let
brownie,
me get a few of
dear.
those.
Oh, from a
Oh, thank you. Oh, Bill, darling, wonderful. Oh, no, namaste. Macadamia nut?
Sure.
Excuse me, Ned, can you do us a favor? We kind of need a sort of babysitter.
Yeah, I've sat on not like literally, but metaphorically sat babies before. I'm
Could you
experienced.
just like go over there and stay with this young man? His name is Tim. He's gone
Hey, you're a
through
beaver
a lot of
scout.
things.
And
Maybe
he like
feed
puts
him.
like fingers above his head, and then he like waggles his hand behind his butt as a little beaver tail. He like does the universal sign of beaver scouts.
Salute. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tim like responds kind of like hesitantly and kind. He's like, "Yeah, hey kid, you hungry? I've got some nettles."
Cool. We're gonna go blow up a cult now.
Thank you.
Oh,
Bye. Stay out of trouble.
Have fun storming the castle. You think it'll
Obviously, I hand
work?
out nettles as we walk.
Yeah, the three of you head up to the center of the forest, to the deepest part, to the Hemlock Grove, to go and hopefully interrupt a cultish ritual. It sounds like we're going to kind of split up a little bit. That I think Sunny was being sent to go and like go around behind and plant the fireworks, and then Muriel and Bill were going to distract
Yep.
our cultists. Does that match?
Yeah, because I want to utilize my other maiden move, where once per session I can take a +12 on any roll related to a wild or daring physical feat.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. Well, then we'll get to your half of this in a second. First, Bill and Muriel, what kind of ruckus are you causing? You're getting into the deeper part of the woods. You see that sort of green stained glass effect of the canopy above. I also think the sun is like starting to go down, so you also get like some amber through the trees of the dying light of day, as you hear like kind of a slow rhythmic hum hum coming from where you believe the grove to be.
I think our solution, Bill, should probably involve a gigantic flock of ravens, since we
Yeah,
have
let's
this
do it.
at our disposal.
Sure. Go for it.
And
Because you can use
poppers.
that heart, right? The wooden
And the
heart
heart,
to
yeah,
summon them or
Poe's
whatever.
heart.
Yep.
It's like it's a thing we can use forever, right?
It's a move now.
Since I
Yep.
rolled good.
Poe's heart.
Yeah. Poe's heart plus poppers equals distraction, I feel like.
Oh yeah. Then use the poppers to gain advantage, because that's part of the thing. But we're gonna roll Poe's heart,
Cool.
which is a plus sensitivity.
You are very good at that, aren't you, Bill? Or do
Me?
I need to roll it?
I'm a +3.
Any of the mavens can do it now. So if you want to give Bill the heart,
Hey, Bill, I'm gonna need you
Yeah.
to take this. It's a
Okay.
flute, and if you blow it, it'll distract them. Totally.
We know
Oh.
you're
It's a
good
crazy
at
noise.
blowing on wood.
Hey, now you're not here.
Couldn't let that go by though.
And then I'll grab the poppers and get into position. Popper position.
heck yeah.
Ooga.
So roll with advantage, and you have a +3 because of your sensitivity.
Yeah.
Oh, but I also have -2.
Well,
Oh,
you have
shit.
+1.
Well, now we're even.
Okay. 10 on the dice plus, what was it, 1?
+1.
One.
It's an 11.
11.
Yeah.
Nice.
You blow on this, and
Fireworks.
the sound of the humming and stuff in the distance you hear stop as the two of you walk forward. You reach the edge of the clearing, and we'll time your bird entrance to be as dramatic as possible. First, you get a little bit of their attention just by arriving here. What do you say or do? I can direct the scene a little bit. You see there's like a line of busy beavers. Their like hands are tied one in front of the other, like their ascots linked together in like a chain. And they are being led towards the stump by that older woman who you originally saw in the welcome center. This was Maggie Mulch, who we didn't talk to at the time, but she's the one who talked to Kiana. She is the one leading this ritual. A few of the other Mulch sisters and daughters, depending on where they are in the family tree, they are scattered about, blowing on the part flutes. Some of them also bearing daggers in their hands. And
Oh boy.
Maggie like turns ahead to see the two of you walk towards the clearing, but she does not seem to be stopped at first. What do you say? What do you do?
Raiden!
Yeah. And in the line, one of the beavers like kind of like groggily turns their head, and you recognize your grandson. He is in the line waiting to be sacrificed to the starting to
Waiting to
bloom
be
plant.
saved.
Well,
Waiting to
yeah.
be saved.
Well, he wasn't waiting to be saved. He was waiting to be sacrificed.
Busy beavers and Braden were busting you out.
And Maggie Mulch says, "You can't have any of our sacrifices today. If you wish to meet the earth from which you came, you can meet it today, damn sure." And as she says that, in like maybe like takes a menacing step towards you, from the forest you hear a rustling of leaves and wings as a wave of ravens rushes through the space, cawing and honestly just like being a bother, a right bother in everyone's faces, just scratching with talons and pooping everywhere. It's a real
Oh boy.
it's a damn sight to see, and it's really disrupting this whole vibe. And everybody, like, Maggie drops her dagger, drops where the lead she was holding on these scouts. She's like panicking as ravens are all up in her face. Everyone else drops their flutes, their ravens all up in their face. I don't think this is kind of a universal ravens just go to the area. So now like the scouts are kind of panicking and starting to scatter. It's real chaotic. Meanwhile, Sunny, what's up?
I am watching all of this chaos unfold, and I have Muriel's lighter and fireworks, and I think I set a couple in the ground, and I start to light their fuses, and then I hobble into the clearing and light some more, and just have in my hands and leap onto wherever this, I guess, the stump or whatever.
Yeah. You get a good view of the
Uh,
blooming flower. It's got this sort of rough red and black flesh. I'm imagining very much like a Rafflesia, if you're familiar. It smells like rotting meat, and it looks
Corpse
like
flower.
yeah, and
mhm.
it looks like somebody smashed open a strawberry in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
And there's just a big old one of those that's starting to open up in the middle of this stump unnaturally quickly. There was nothing on this earlier, of course, but there is now.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and like stab the fireworks into this corpse flower and maybe try to kick it down as well.
Well, you are doing a daring physical feat here, and you're using your move that just gives you a 12 plus on that. So
Yeah.
this works. Describe for me like what Sunny does. Like, do you jam in the fireworks? You kick it to the ground? Do you bolt out of there? Do you say something cool? What do you do?
Oh, I say something so cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it a joke about trees?
Oh no!
You need to listen to our tree episode because we make lots of tree
Tree
jokes
episode.
on a book club
Trivia?
off the books.
Trivia.
Trivia?
That's very good.
Yeah. Sunny, I think, just starts pushing it in and like stabbing with the like explosion part into the flower and just starts frantically lighting all of these and tries to kick and push down this blooming flower and just screams, "Why do trees hate tests? Because they get stumped by the questions!" And then
Yeah, you cry this out. Everybody who was like panicking about the birds turns to look at you as you kick it off the stump, and then with a explosion, like you know the specific smell of gunpowder that like fireworks has. It's like a very
oh yeah.
particular scent. Fills everyone's nostrils in the most colorful flashbang that has ever been made. As this plant explodes, is rendered to nothing. Its bits go everywhere, and Rafflesia smells like rotting meat, and so now just kind of like everything in the area smells like rotting meat, which is unpleasant. But it is smithereens, and Bill, you feel, because you also have some of the same connection that everyone has because of this weird plant juice. You feel that drawing sensation you had to this area leave you. Like you are freed of that shackle now. And actually, I'd like you to remove the condition, Child of the Forest.
Oh.
I do think
Right.
with how we resolve this, you don't get to keep that. You lose it.
Okay. Brayden.
Yeah.
Brayden.
The ravens at the explosion kind of scatter, and this ritual is completely disrupted. I think a few of the mulch family are like lying on the ground, having kind of been knocked back by the force of this explosion, and the beaver scouts have like largely scattered to the woods. But I think you call out to them and start to gather them one by one, Bill, as you find Brayden, and he is a good biggest beaver and starts to help gather the younger ones to your cause. What do you do here? Actually, before I ask that, I do think Maggie Mulch, who is like near the center of this, she was like knocked to one side by the cacophony of fireworks, and she stands up and she's like singed on one part of her now that was closest to the blast. She's got like that blackened soot on her skin. She's probably somewhat burned as well. And she holds in her hand, clutching desperately, one of these wooden daggers. And she takes a few haggard steps towards you and says, "This forest has got to feed, and we're gonna feed it. And if these boys ain't gonna give their blood to this soil, you will." And she's gonna make a go for whoever's closest. I think in this case that's probably Sunny.
Cool. I love that.
What do you do?
I'm gonna try and smash her in the face with my bark forearm.
Heck yeah, love that. That's gonna be a night move. What are you worried is gonna happen?
That I'm gonna get stabbed.
Yeah. I think
Fair.
what's worse than that is your body is going to become the new home of the flower.
Oh.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, it kind of
Very
fits.
cool thing you just said.
So if you're okay with those
That's a-
stakes, we can roll.
Yeah.
As a fan of my
Uh.
keeper, I enjoyed what you just said very much.
You do have a +1.
Heck yeah,
Oh,
we do.
thank you.
From chat.
Oh, thanks.
This is
Okay.
going to be night move
Is
composure
this... Oh, thank God. Okay.
or vitality if you're good at that.
I'm not.
You got this. Boxcars.
See, I always think the boxcars are bad, but
They're
it's
good.
the
Very
six-
good.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah. She dives towards you. She is like also an older woman. She founded this place 70 years ago. She's probably older than
Fuck.
all three of you. She's but like surprisingly spry. Something about maybe what they conduct here.
It's the mad water.
Something about that mad water. She's just filled with mad water right now. And she dives for you with a knife, but it's not. You have a few years beneath her. You've got a little bit more vitality in you. And I think she goes to stab you, and you like deflect her blade with your bark skin off to one side, and then you just smack her with your other arm right upside the face. And I think
Ow, 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 ow.
the mixture of the success is you like rake some of that bark off of your arm, and that does not feel good. I want you to take the condition. Just take the condition bark skin. This is now going to become not just something that you'll lose at the end of this thing, but this is now a condition you'll have to shed otherwise.
Okay, it's kind of like the D&D version, right?
Unfortunately, less so.
Okay.
But you
Bad
do
fire kicks, man.
hit her right upside the face with your hardened arm, and she goes down. Like she's like 90 something. That's gonna hurt. And she goes down. The dagger clatters across the sort of roots and earth, the dull wooden thud, and the other mulches who witness this. I think we see Camellia, we see Hyacinth. We don't see Iris anywhere, but they sort of like in a panic just turn around and flee deeper into the forest, and are not to be seen. But you have ended this sacrificial ritual here, and the children are safe for now, until something else in Brindlewood Bay would threaten their lives once again. But for now, the day is saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls.
Thanks to the maidens.
The Mavens.
Mavens.
Did a great job.
Mavens.
Powerpuff
The
Girls.
maidenly Mavens.
The middling mavens.
But you do save the kids here, and you do. I think as this ritual is real and truly disrupted, as Maggie is dropped low, you feel a cold wave emanating from the center of this space rush out of the forest, like the voices of hundreds, maybe even thousands of ghosts breathing a sigh of relief as this horrible ritual is brought to a final, in this case, somewhat violent conclusion. But no more lives shall be sacrificed at this stump to this plant any longer. This is well and truly over and done.
R.I.P. the Botanical Garden.
R.I.P. the Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
I
Um,
what I want to conclude with. Oftentimes we'll do some little closing vignettes from everyone, but I've got enough of some stinger scene stuff to do that I think we're going to skip that this time, and we've also already gone over time a little bit. Unless I say that if folks have stuff already, we can totally do that. I'm
I
game.
just had one little tiny idea.
All right. Well,
It's just one.
let's do some
It's
little
tiny.
closing vignettes. Well, let me
Itty
ask:
bitty.
does this take you away from the gardens, or does this occur here? Is this like when
It's
you
away
get
from
home?
the gardens. Yeah.
Okay, then let's save it for a second.
Cool. Love it.
Miah, do you have any closing vignette for Sunny that you want to do? If it takes place at the gardens, we'll do it now. Otherwise, we'll save it for after.
No.
Okay. And Bill, I actually have a scene involving you, if you want that.
okay.
Okay. As the three of you are leaving, you've bring back this ragtag group of beavers with you. You do successfully recover all the beavers. Beaver ship down is a success. And as the three of you are leaving through the Welcome Center, because that's the way out as well as the way in, you of course pass by Kiana, and she thanks you so profusely for finding the kids. She's glad somebody gave it their attention to this. I think she's continually been impressed by what the three of you seem to be capable of. And before you leave completely, Kiana comes up to you, Bill, and she says, hey, Bill, thank you again for today. You did a lot for me. I won't have to talk to the boss beaver now, which will be a relief off my shoulders. And more importantly, we've recovered all the kids safely, shaken up a little bit, but safe nonetheless. And she's kind of she clearly has something she wants to tell you, but she's not sure where to start.
Spit it out, Kelsey.
Well, I know all of that stuff went down with Maggie just now, and well, this was left behind for you at the gift shop. They said that you bought it earlier, and I was supposed to give it back to you. I didn't see you pass through it, but I guess if they say it's yours, it must be. And Kiana hands to you a bound book. It's a leather-bound book. It's hundreds of pages, like over 500 pages. It's a big, thick tome. And on the cover of it, it says The Rational Almanac. And you pop open the cover to see what the heck this is, And inside, you actually see a note as if this book had been given to someone. And it says, "For Freya, comma, dearest December, welcome. May this year be the one to remember." And then a little hyphen, soul, SOL.
So
Yeah. So there's a little gift note. "For Freya, dearest December, welcome. May this year be one to remember." And it is from Soul, SOL.
you want to remember.
Didn't know you had such tastes in books, but I guess this is yours.
Yes, it is. Thanks. Close it up.
And
That's looking around.
from there, let's get the other scenes, and then I'll end on a final little stinger.
Mine's easy. I'll go fast. All of them have been very much the same. But Muriel gets home, goes to her conspiracy room, puts the pose heart in the cabinet next to, the other various items that we found, closes it, leaves. We hear the heart. Do-dum, do-dum, do-dum. That's it. It's easy.
Love that.
Remind me, does it have to be a sad one or can it be happy?
No, it's just a little peek into your Maven's life after the events of this.
Okay. Sunny's bird feeders and other accoutrement bird things have been left unattended and doesn't have any intention of maybe refilling it and tending to it in a bit. And she is in her, I guess, like apartment or home, making some borscht. And she gets a phone call, and it's her grandson. And he tells her that she is going to be a great grandmother.
Oh.
Aww.
Yeah. And she's happy and looks down at probably her bandaged arm. And kind of smiles and thinks to herself that these beavers were somebody's great grandkids.
That's so sweet.
Thanks.
Bill, when you get home from the botanical gardens, where do you put this book? What do you do with it?
Oh, it goes under the bed.
Just under the bed?
No one will go under a little old lady's bed.
It's true. Nobody looks under there.
Put it behind
else?
all the boxes that they would have to look through first, which
I was-
have dubious things in them.
I was going to
That,
ask what else you had
yeah.
hidden under your bed. So
Don't ask that.
Don't do that.
Why would you
I don't have
ask that?
time. I don't have time.
You know, fair enough.
Zero does
that
stuff
can be
after
that can be the next
midnight.
mystery, David.
What's
Well,
under Bill's bed?
let's conclude this one first.
Boogeyman.
I think we see in like side view as Bill deposits the book under the bed, kind of pushes some other boxes into place, and then goes back maybe to drop off her bag inside the house or something along those lines. And we stay in that room though, and our camera follows down, weaves under the bed, passes the box, and like lines up with the spine of that book there in the darkness. And then we do another one of those cuts where we swap out for a matching or similar looking thing, and this time we see that same book, similarly bound. It's definitely from the same like printing run of this book, only it's sitting on top of the arm of an armchair, and there's a hand on top of it. And our camera pans up, and we see Rosehip Mulch sitting in this armchair, her hand resting gently on this tome, The Rational Almanac. She's seated in a warm sitting room with a window open. It appears to be daylight outside, perhaps the next day or some other time later this week. And a raven, a large black raven, swoops inside and lands just by her feet. And as it lands, we know that this is the same raven. Its behaviors don't match that of kind of the flock that we saw previously. Its behaviors are more intentional. As it lands at her feet, it almost seems to bow, its tail feathers reaching up, its head reaching down, its beak just tapping the ground just in front of her feet. And not sounding tired at all, Rosehip says, "You've been working hard, Drake, dearest January. Have you evaluated their suitability?" And the feathers of the bird twist and warp with a sickeningly wet, sort of fleshy crackle. The black feathers becoming black jeans, a black tuxedo shirt, thickly slicked back black hair. It's Drake Raven, the street magician from Trick or Bleat.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, as soon
His
as he
head
said
bowed
Drake.
there to the ground. He says, "Yes, m'lady. I believe we have a strong candidate among them. One that will suit your needs perfectly." And Rosehip responds, "Excellent. I'll gather the other calendar girls. This is cause for celebration. Soon shall be the day of promise. Let us begin the grand cycle anew." And she cracks open her copy of the Rational Almanac. And our camera fades to black. And then there's a big, "Next time on Brindlewood Bay!" And the, agency continues to encourage, the listeners to stick around for next time and catch the next episode. Because this is their favorite channel to watch. Next up, after Brindlewood Bay,
More Brindlewood Bay.
more Brindlewood
Family
Bay!
Feud.
Family Feud!
So Drake is a calendar girl.
He appears to be. Either is a calendar girl or is a servant to.
Fucking Drake Raven.
Fucking Drake Raven.
Fun.
Okay, but this also kind of means that Freya's a calendar girl.
Last calendar girl. Where's she been for 10 years?
Well, I mean,
Things are coming to a head
Rose-
here, huh?
Mhm.
Rosehip said that we should summon the other calendar girls.
And
So
they also wear ravens.
Who's to say?
I don't know.
Theories abound. What I will say is we definitely have enough void clues at this point to begin the void mystery if we want. So next time we could either do another regular one and just tease some more stuff, or we could potentially just dive in and do ourselves a void mystery.
That's your call, boss.
Bus beaver.
Boss
Till
beaver.
next time.
Yeah, what I'll
on
say
Brindlewood
is-
Bay Mavens.
Yeah, watch this feed, everybody. We'll see.
Like, follow, subscribe to
Yeah,
these
yeah.
podcasts. And
But for now,
Twitch
this has
channel.
been Brindlewood Bay. Watch this channel for more.
Okay, that's awesome, everyone. Thank you so much. Very quickly, special thanks to David for running another Brindlewood Bay. You can check David out on Trails of the
Woo.
Apocalypse. Also Cap from Shrimp and Crits. There's the link for that. And also Miah from the Monsters Playbook. Okay, so awesome. Thank you very much, everyone, and to the audience for the Kiwi coin spins, although some of them, and for the bits that were also cheered for what was it? The penis topiary.
Never
Something.
forget.
Don't never forget.
One of the clues that you can get is like the topiary is coming to life, and I'm so glad we didn't use that one.
Yeah, same.
Oh, dang.
Never been happier.
Awesome. Okay, let's wave now while I find the bye-bye screen.
Wave and hydrate.
Wax on,
Thank
wax off,
you.
everybody.